Welcome into the Cam Strick Podcast, episode number 161, presented by Hair Club, baby.
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah. Okay. And you look pale.
Oh, I look terrible.
Well, you look terrible. You look absolutely terrible. We're doing this on a weekend because of you. I mean, there's just a lot of things going on right now with you that really is concerning. It's alarming. And, first off, before we get into anything, just want to make sure you're okay. Like, how you feeling? Are you okay?
Well, I got the COVID. Okay. And you know what? I thought I had it back in the day. And now that I realize that it was just I'm okay, all good. But God, I'm looking at myself in the recorder right here, Andy. Oh my God, I look like a fucking vampire. Oh my God, pale as fuck. Anyway, no, I got it the other day. Here's what happened. I woke up in the middle of the night and I'm fucking freezing, and I'm like, word. I got the puppies are laying there, Boo's laying on the bed, Kate's over there. I got blankets out the wazoo, and I'm like, why the fuck am I shivering? I even was so cold, and I wouldn't like fever, but I felt just off, right? And I'm never sick, Andy, of all the partying I do, of all the motherfucking partying and how I abused my body over the years. I haven't been sick in 10 fuck years. Last time I got sick was when probably withdrawing of something or whatever. I'm a machine when it comes to that.
Well, you're not. That's evident. That's clear now. You're not.
No. You are until you're not. I know some hypochondriacs that get sick every goddamn day. Okay, there's always something. I don't give a fuck. I suck shit up. Maybe I don't realize it, but this time I was a little off, and I go, God damn. And we're around people, Andy. I'm around you. We do stuff at the studio. We're around things. So I'm like, next day I go, Kate, go get a test. She goes out to Walgreens, comes back, boom, right off the bat, got positive. Like, I fucking knew it. So anyway, called everybody, did all that shit. Kate gets 10 days off, just automatically. Like, okay. And she's been fine. We're both chilling. This is a goddamn Christmas wonderland out here in the beautiful part of Franklin County. It's going to be Christmas out the wazoo. I cooked a turkey yesterday. I feel fine. And now my antibodies are like, what's up, baby? Come fuck with me again, Delta. So I'm good.
Well, and it hasn't impacted your voice because you just won't stop talking here. You just not stop talking.
Can I say one other thing? I actually feel like happy too, by the way, which is some people makes it. I feel like happy throughout the day, Kate. But I will say this: I wish I would have got COVID when COVID was kind of cool back in the day. When you got it back in the day, people like praise you, like, "Oh God, what happened?" Now, if you tell people, you're like, "Oh, he's contaminated. Get off of me, son." So it's just a little different. And 6 months ago it was trendy. Now it's like, okay, get over yourself. Yeah, you got COVID. Go suck it up. We all have it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, how'd you get it?
I'm just saying. Licking doorknobs, Andy. I lick fucking doorknobs. That's how I got it. I don't leave my goddamn house. How did I get it? I don't know. I don't know. It could have been from touching something that one time I did that one time a week. I don't do anything. I live way the fuck out in the middle of nowhere. Kate and I fucking chill with the puppies.
You act like you don't do.
No.
I don't go to the gas station. I go to gas station every day. You go to a radio station every day. Like there's people. You act like you're not. I know, but listen, dude. I'm DJ double vax. I told you. I'm just like I'm protected.
You're gonna have to get DJ quadruple vax in the next 6 months. You're gonna have to keep getting vaccinated. It's all good. No big deal. You should be. It's all good. But the point is, I really don't do much. And so if you wanted to ever trace back a timeline where you could see where COVID happened, it could be mine because it's very simplistic. I don't do that many things. Could it be at the state? Could it be there? But then there's maybe one or two spots. And you're like, well, it's got to be one of those.
Your life is very boring. Very boring. You don't talk to people. You don't see people. No, it's not. It's not. And now all of a sudden, no one wants to be around you. And people are going to run like the old people in your neighborhood. Like when they see you, they're going to be like, that young guy, Cam, that lives in the neighborhood. Stay away from him. And let me say this, because you do live in a elderly community. It's it's a
wealthy community because usually wealthy people are older.
Well, it's an elderly community. It might as well be like a assistant living arrangement situation. They're young, but they're old, and you got to be. Listen, you got to be careful. You got to be careful.
I bet there's more cougars out in this neighborhood than your neighborhood. You want to bet on that, right, motherfucking?
Probably so.
I drove to your fucking neighborhood. I can be like, there ain't no hot chicks anywhere. I will tell you right now. Come on out here and see them walk around. Get on with yourself. They're lucky I'm not cruising around on my fucking rollerblades like I did back in the day with no shirt on, stick handling a puck. They're lucky I don't do that. Well, my wife's kind of lucky too. But don't you want to compare?
Well,
do you want to compare?
Listen, you're in a assisted living arrangement over their community. So I'm just saying, listen, the COVID situation is very scary to the elderly. So just make sure you're aware of that, dude. Stay away from your neighbors and the people that are in the area.
And he's bacteria free. He's got 3 kids. The kids are all around him. They're lovely, and I love them. And he's at the fucking rink hugging on people all goddamn day. All fans coming up to him, thinking they're talking to Andy, but they want to get to me, which meanwhile, I'm way out in Franklin County. They're touching on your fucking ass. You're around 20,000 people touching microphones all the fucking time. Don't you fucking act like you don't have bacteria all over your goddamn self. You should be more vaccinated. I hope that you get 15 more fucking shots because I'm scared.
I put like
get 15 more.
I put a little touch of Pfizer like in on my pasta. You know, like when I'm eating, you know how you put like Parmesan cheese.
Weirdo.
No, I put a little Pfizer on there. Like whatever I eat a little side of Pfizer with it.
Here's funny. Andy doesn't eat fucking meat, but he's gonna eat Pfizer sprinkled over his fucking greens. That's what you're doing. Get out of here.
Well, just a little extra protection.
Never mind that meat. Give me some more of that Pfizer.
Yeah.
Johnson & Johnson. Give me some more of that.
Hey, listen, just do me a favor. Take 30 days, okay?
I do look like shit, though. I'm looking at
You need to quarantine
right
for 30 days. It may have to be a little extra for you. A little extra for you.
Andy, I'm pale as fuck. Oh, my God.
Are you getting...
Look at my forehead.
Are you getting like bed sores, like sores on your body and stuff? I've heard some people get that.
No, I don't feel anything anymore, to be honest with you. I mean, Kate and I are honestly just doing shit around the house, chilling.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've read from I've read a number of things from Dr. Fauci, who I've gotten to know very well. Dr. Fauci. I read up about him quite often.
Oh yeah, you would be friends with a guy like that. You would be friends with a get the fuck out of here.
Let me find out exactly how long
this
is going to be in your system.
The real people. Let me go talk to them. I trust everything.
How long is it in your system?
I trust everything. What do you mean? COVID?
The COVID. I know they say quarantine for 10 days, even though I'm requiring you to quarantine for 30. But how long?
I'd say my symptoms were about 24 hours.
And
I'm
that
not
was
cold
it?
anymore. Yeah, that's it.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I'm not a sick kind of guy, dude. I don't get sick.
Oh, Cam, hang on. I got to go brine my turkey. Just hang on one second. I'll be right back. Just got to brine the turkey, okay?
Did you see my turkey? You see what I did yesterday?
I'm not focused on your turkey. I'm focused on my turkey. It's a fresh, never frozen turkey. I'm using a number of different ingredients in that bad boy. What temperature are you? Well, just hang on.
325.
Oh, is that what you're doing it?
Yeah. Well, you could do a couple different things. Well, I put it on. You could honestly, you could put it at 450 for 10 minutes, and then you could take the big turkey breast on top. You could put strips of bacon on that for more of the, like this kind of protect it, and then put it back down on 325 for the rest of the 2.5, 3 hour cook. Depends on how big's your turkey is. Mine was like 11 because this is for Kate and I. We have so much left over.
11 pounds. Cam, I saw your turkey. I'm like a couple of things that came to mind right off the bat. I'm like, that is too big for you and Kate. It's way too big. This COVID turkey, and now you can't even hand it out to the neighbors. You can't give it to your parents because it's like a danger zone. Like you should have a sign outside the front door, just letting people know.
I like how you chirp me.
So where's this turkey going? Where's the turkey going?
My goddamn! I ate the fuck out of it yesterday, and I'm gonna eat. I'm putting on weight. I was hoping this COVID thing would make me not want to eat, but it's making me hungry. And
really?
Maybe there's other things that.
Well, I mean, maybe it's not just COVID. I don't know what you have.
Okay, COVID. Where's the COVID that makes you not fucking hungry? Is that the Delta? Here's the point. I know we joke about it, and there's people that die. We get all that, man. We're just trying to look. I got it. It's all good. We're just trying to make it lively. But the one thing I am kind of sad about is not being able to see my goddamn parents.
Ooh.
Like I can't go to the gas station, do this, that. Fine, I got people to help me with shit, and they can drop it off the fucking floor. But I can't see my parents. And I know it sounds corny, but I don't like it.
What about your aunt? What about your aunt? Can you see your aunt or anybody else?
Oh, no. Kate's mom comes by and has to like drop things off for us and stuff like that. But, I can't see my parents where I see 4 or 5 times a week when I go over there. Andy, whenever you're talking to me, I'm like, I'm pulling up my parents' house. And you're like, okay. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm going to go fucking talk to them because that's what I do.
Well, maybe it's a good little opportunity for Cam to be on his own for a few days, I mean, you just can't have mommy and daddy every day for the next few days, man. That's just the way it goes.
They might not live long, homie. Like, they don't do anything for me. Like, what do they do? Oh, I steal their beer and shit. But it's like, what are they doing for my bills? Like, what are they doing for? I've been taking care of them. I've been taking care of them when you're still fucking going through debt with your fucking college bills. Like, oh God, I didn't learn anything. I still have to pay my student loan. I was fucking taking care of people. So, you know.
What about like before 16? What about before 16? Like the Cam who's 9 and 10, 11.
My dad was just following me around fucking playing sports, shit kicking motherfuckers. Ty doesn't even know what the fuck he wants to do yet. Like, he's going to play hockey, he's going to do this. What if he's good at something else?
He's got to get the puck. I mean, that's the bottom line. He's skating all right. He's skating fine.
Is he going? Is he picking flowers? You know what I said.
He's not picking flowers. He's not picking flowers, but he's just kind of like wheeling around and like you just got to get the puck. Sometimes the puck's here. And the problem is, Cam, there's like 6 kids all bunched up, right? They're all fighting for the puck. And so, you know,
beehive thing, you know.
It's like so confusing because like sometimes it's best to probably not say anything, you know, but you try to tell them like, don't get in the middle of the scrum, wait for the puck to pop out, and then you take it and go. When somebody has it on your team, go to the front of the net. So like sometimes he'll just skate to the front of the net. He's like, well, you told me to do that. I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm confusing the hell out of you.
But they ain't getting, they're not getting the puck.
They're not getting that.
So it's like at that age, that's a good point because at that age is more like just be aggressive. Mm-hmm. Everything else will sort out. And if you're aggressive and you're aggressive, as a kid, you're smart, dude. Like you're going to be smart. So if you go in that pile aggressive and all of a sudden you're like, why am I going in so fast? Like I've done this every time. Why don't I come in quick? And now that puck always squirts out that way, now I'm going to realize it because I keep doing the wrong thing. Well, I'm going to hold off. But then there's other times where like, I'm going to go get it and go get the damn thing. So they're going to figure that out one way or the other. But the point of the whole thing is what I said is you're going to go through that dilemma where people are going to hire you for something big, other things. And then Ty's going to be fucking cruising playing AAA. And then fucking Ivy's going to be doing gymnastics. And Chloe's already playing for, you know, a college or whatever. And you're like, what the fuck am I doing? That's a good problem.
But you got to make money, man. You got to
make money. So you're white. Yeah. You both could balance it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
I'm not like a sales guy who works from home. Well, wait, listen, stay away from the dogs. I was actually worried about the dogs and the cat. Like they need to be in another room away from you for at least 10 days.
That's impossible.
No,
they love their daddy so much. They love me.
Stop putting yourself first, dude. Put the animals first. Now, let me ask you this.
They need infection.
I just got a text from Fauci, and I'll tell you what he said because I asked him.
Don't even. Would you stop with
your parents? I'm texting with Fauci as we speak.
Can we listen, Andy? Did you talk to Fauci? Did he say it's okay if we celebrate Christmas this year?
Well, no. Here's what he said.
Here's
what he said. You're getting those antibodies, baby. They're like in your body. They're building up as we speak. So that hug's coming with your mom and dad. Like you're going to be allowed to hug them now, and you got the antibodies.
So. Look,
sometimes it's good to know if you have the virus, because then you can obviously not only be responsible and stay away from people and whatever, but you know you're building up those antibodies, man.
And you know what? I didn't even have to bring it up. I could always hide because I'm. You know how I am with Fauci and stuff.
Would you really do that? What do you think of somebody who tests positive and then doesn't say anything to anybody?
Well, I know.
I tested negative, by the way, because I will say this for people who know, who are out there. When Cam told me he tested positive, one of the first things I did was go out there and get a test. I tested my whole family. We're all negative. And it's amazing how strong I am. Like, honestly, like it's like the muscle mass that I present, Cam. It just can't penetrate.
If you would have got look what I'm doing right now. I'm fucking talking to you. I'm chilling. Like, I don't look again. I don't now I feel like disease riddle. Like I feel great, to be honest with you. Like I kind of do. It's just the good thing is like, and I know it affects other people, but I can't honestly though. When I haven't hugged my parents in 2 years. Like
now you can.
I haven't.
What are you going to do for Thanksgiving?
Right now, I don't want to do it now. I can't even see it now. It sucks.
Are you guys still going to Kate's parents for Thanksgiving or no?
No, we can't do anything. Yeah.
No.
But we're all having Christmas over at our house. And I know, again, to everybody thinking, but all you guys, man, like, I got into the holidays. Like, once you, like, I love, like, entertaining people. And now that you have a place again.
You've never had us over. You won't allow my kids to come over. I mean, what kind of entertainment are you planning here?
It depends on what kind of party I want to have. Now, if Christmas is like for kids, I'm going to have the nieces. I want to entertain the kids during that kind of stuff. I'll bring them, just like I did with Easter. I posted on my fucking shit where I hid the fucking eggs so far apart that these little girls are trying to run through my yard and they're like having like, I'm like, had to carry them. I should have got a 4-wheeler or something or a side-by-side because I hid the eggs too. I thought they were older than what they were, you know, Andy.
Yeah, well, let me just tell you this. Just so you know,
they got scared.
And you can tell Kate too, just so you know, I have decided, because I'm in the giving mood. Of course, it's that time of year, and I've got the spirit. So I bought a few extra Yukon Golds, and I'm making some mashed potatoes for you. So I'll be dropping those off here very soon. But I'm going to put them at the edge of the driveway. I'm putting them at the end of the driveway. You got to walk out and get them on your own. Okay?
Why would you waste your time with that? Why would you give me fucking leftover mashed potatoes? What the fuck am I supposed to do with that?
They'll be fresh, dude. They'll be fresh. I'm going to make them, then bring them over.
No. It's either I'm at your house and you cook or whatever, or we're somewhere at a restaurant we eat together. But I don't want you making shit and then driving 40 minutes or waiting a night and then drive. Why would you do that? Like, I don't want it.
Because
I will keep your Tupperware and not give it back to you and not eat your bullshit. I'll throw it away and film it. No. I'll fucking and then keep your Tupperware, and your wife will be like, where's your Tupperware at?
Cam, this is what you do. House. When you know people that have COVID, okay, and they can't be around anybody, and they've got look, thank God we're not in the same place.
No, I do got a little bit of cough, but
see, you got a little bit of symptoms. How's your shortness of breath? But let me just finish what I'm
not running a marathon. I mean, I'm chilling. You're lucky I don't got a PS5 right now.
When I know people have COVID, and I know how it can disrupt your life and everything, and in this case, it certainly has disrupted yours. And you do things for people, dude. So I'm making some mashed potatoes for you. Anything else you want to? You want some stuffing?
Go get the gas station, drop me off, and chew. That's what I want.
Oh my God, how are you gonna do that?
I'm the fucking serious. I'm like, I don't want your mashed potatoes. I have tons of food here. I got Deerbergs delivering every other goddamn day. It costs me $400 a pop.
That's what you're asking for. You want chew? You don't. I mean, you don't want the mashed potatoes.
Well, it's like gold. No, yeah, no, you don't want mashed potatoes. I have 15 fucking pounds of it here.
Cam, my neighbors,
goddamn tobacco.
My neighbors are outside, and they're asking me, like, the smell, the aroma in the neighborhood has just completely taken off, and it's all coming from my house. It smells so good in my house right now.
I ain't gonna lie to you. But anytime I stayed in an apartment facility or a hotel and somebody's cooking curry, it smells like dog fuck. So just so you know, so you can talk
making
about
the curry. Who's making curry?
Well, whatever. I'm just saying, anytime, and all y'all hockey dudes know what's up because you get caught next to them folk and they're cooking fucking curry all the time. You're like, this smells like dog fuck, and it ruins your shit.
Okay, and so it's my Thanksgiving smell.
No. My point is, you're fucking bragging about it, and all the boys know it smells like dog fuck. So stop bragging about it. Find something else.
I'm telling you what the neighbors. What the neighbors are saying. Oh, can you imagine my tree though, man? The leaves have all this complete. It's like a naked tree, like my Morning Glory maple, which was just taking over the neighborhood,
dude.
Taking over the neighborhood. Seasons. Yeah, so now it's all on the ground. I'm gonna give you a couple leaves too. Like I'm making like a little art and craft. Like the kids are making you arts and crafts and stuff like that because of your COVID situation. So we'll have a big thing that I'm gonna drop off, and I'll do it later on today.
If the kids make me something, I'll keep it, and it'll be cute.
Yeah.
But if you make me a tree thing, I'm like, I got fucking trees out here, homie.
Okay.
Like no one gives a shit. And it's called seasons. You don't live in California. Mm-hmm. See, the trees fall, the leaves fall, they come back. It's a seasonal fucking thing.
Hey, did you only take one test or have you taken another one?
No,
I mean, there's false positives too. I don't know. I
think it might be. Now, here again, Andy.
This take home. I mean, you're taking this take home. Like, who's making this take home test?
I don't know. Fauci. But it could have been. No. Honest to God, I felt off, and that's why I had Kate do it. And I'm again.
How's she feeling? How's Kate feel?
She's got a cough, but she's in
that means she has it, dude.
She's watching fucking Christmas goddamn movies all day. Because we have multiple TVs, throughout the house, Andy, because our house is really big. And so she's in one side of the room watching just Christmas shit all the time. Or I'm watching shit on like the Catacombs of France, which is ungodly horrific. It's called the Catacombs of France.
We know nothing about that. Nothing about that.
Meaning back in the 1700s in France, in Paris, they a bunch of shit went down, and all the burial sites they had to put underneath, and they made all these tunnels from back in the day, and it's really creepy. Yeah. And kids go down there and party and take fucking ecstasy and have raves, and they get lost down there, and they die. There's bones out the wall. Fucking zinc.
Really?
Check that mug out, homie.
Wow.
Check that mug.
I'll get right on that.
Here's Andy. Andy looks at France and thinks of the Eiffel Tower. Like, that's like the oldest thing going. I think of the Eiffel Tower. Look, that thing's made in the 1800s, dude. That thing's like the Statue of Liberty. It's not old, although they gave it to us. That's not. It's not old. Like there's old shit in France, baby.
Cam,
I've been down. You need to do your fucking history.
I've been all over the south of France, dude. It's like one of the most amazing, magical places in the world.
Well, the south of France is the south of France.
Yeah, but I've been to Paris too, and I've seen the Eiffel Tower. I've seen the Eiffel Tower, but I've been, all over, like on a train, dude, throughout the countryside.
The Alps teamed up next to Switzerland. There is the most. Andy Lowell.
The countryside of France, like in fact, I'm considering like moving there full time. Actually,
it's expensive as fuck.
Well, it's very expensive.
Can I tell all y'all something right quick? You know, lovely. If you like castles like I do. Watch this show. It's in France. It's called Escape to the Château. And this lovely couple, buys this fucking beautiful castle in the middle of France, and they renovate it for cheap. And they got money coming in, and they have a TV show where they renovate this castle on like 6 acres with the moat as a moat and everything. A moat is that water thing around it, where they keep people coming in. And it's Andy. It's called Escape to the Chateau. It's not. It's not hard. It's just beautiful if you like that kind of thing. And if I had a ton of money, if I had a fuck ton of money, I would have a castle somewhere and have it our place where we go during the winter time or something. I don't know. I'm talking fuck ton of money, dude.
Money. And that's what you would need. Yeah,
I'd go to fucking Scotland and have a castle looking over. Oh God. And I'd have my own people come in. I'd turn my phone off. I'd have it from back in the day, and I'd have a butler hanging out and making a fire for us. That's what I do, Andy. That's what I would do.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a good idea. I'd actually be on board with that. It's like one of the better ideas that you presented. Like I thought you were just going to stay in like the outskirts of Missouri your entire life.
Well, I'd have a big farm in the middle of Missouri too, homie. I'd have my parents have their own plug. I had my brother. I'd pay off all my cousins. I'd pay off everybody's fucking house. I'd just pay off all their bills. Like I just would. If I had a fuck ton of money, I'd take care of the people. Yeah. Like I really would. I'd give you a couple bucks here and there.
Oh, good. I appreciate that.
I would. I'd be like, Ty's going to college. They're all going to college.
If I'm thinking about doing a share, I want to like.
Although going to college, whatever.
With my mashed potatoes, dude, I want to give them to people. Like there's people out there who are hungry and stuff like that. I'm thinking about like making this like how like you have like an angel house or something like that, for people.
Excuse me.
Like an angel house or something like that for people who like. Means. Well, no, there's stuff like that exists. Like for people like that can come, like they need a place to stay, they need something. And I'm just like, what can I do for people to make them? Well, there's stuff like that. Like, what can you do for people to make them like feel good at this time of year?
I just told you.
Mashed potatoes, dude. Like seriously,
no one wants those. They're gonna be pissing out of their ass. They're gonna be starving to death, and all of a sudden they're gonna eat those mashed potatoes, and they're gonna get fucking food poisoning, and they're gonna be dig yourself a bigger hole. They're gonna be starving. I'd be happy. And they're gonna be fucking IBS for the rest of their life.
I'd be happy to send any of our listeners some mashed potatoes, dude, and I will make sure that they are freeze dried. We'll have dry ice and whatever, and they'll be there within 24 hours.
Fucking gross.
Hey,
freeze food and give it to me. I can't wait.
What are you thankful for, though? Tell our listeners about what you're thankful for, because it is that time of year where you have to have a good answer for that.
I'm thankful for my lovely wife, my health, although I'm kind of fucked up right now, I guess, but I feel okay, guys. I'm good. I'm thankful for my lovely little kitty over here, Boo Boo, who's still alive. I don't know what I'm going to do when that little baby goes.
How old is that cat?
She's got to be fucking 15 now. Oh, she's followed me around my whole life.
Cam,
she's been again. What?
You got to hear me out on this, dude. Stay away from the cat for 10 days. Stay away from the cat. It's a 15-year-old cat, and you're just breathing all over that cat right now.
Oh,
dude, what are you doing? What are you doing?
She follows me everywhere I go, and she lays by me everywhere I'm at. And I get up in the morning when everybody else is sleeping, even the puppies, and I make a fire, and I put my laptop out, and I get my notes down for my radio show, for the fucking podcast, for whatever. And little Boo Boo is right there. She just goes and just stares at me. And I have my coffee and I do my shit. When she goes, oh God, oh, I'll be so fucked up because I'm just so used to my routine
trying
with her.
To bring
I'm just
the
saying.
Show down. I mean, you make it so depressing. There's people out there.
My mind's all over the goddamn place. People up there
in Canada, man, that are just a simple question. What are you thankful for? And you just turn this into like a depressing answer.
She's getting old. Okay, she's getting old, and I worry
What do you think they do in Canada on Thanksgiving? Yeah, because they have their own Thanksgiving. It's on a Monday, but on American Thanksgiving, like, what do? Like, you just go to work like it's a normal day?
Well, here's the deal, and I love you Canadian folk, but you Canadians all know when American Thanksgiving is for the most part. But Americans have no fucking clue about things, Canada things, Canadian things. They just don't. But I lived there in billet houses, and I'm like, oh shit, it's like September, like Thanksgiving. I'm like, what's up, baby? Blah, 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 blah. And then they'd celebrate our Thanksgiving always. All my billets, man, they'd always bake ham and they'd have a turkey and did it right. So Canadians are awesome. They respect us. They respect us more than we respect them. Except for us.
You think that's how it is? You think that's how it is?
Yeah, but they chirp up there, but they rely on the United States for a lot of shit too. I mean, that's why the majority of the cities are 100 miles from the American border.
Canada's given us a number of different things, as a matter of fact. I mean, they've given us so much, man. I can't thank them enough.
They're giving us our jobs right now.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have.
I went up there and lived. I lived and hung out and drank beer and hung out with the girls and went to the fucking school, and they treated me like fucking gold. I took jobs away from them as an American, and they treated me like fucking gold. And
what's catching your attention right now? Like, what are the hot button issues for you, hockey wise? Anything?
We're talking. What's wrong with this? What is this, a hockey podcast? What's the hot topic, dude? I don't know. That's kind of on your end. I mean,
you want to know something crazy that happened the other day?
What's the big thing? Connor McDavid and Tortorella. And I said this before. I'm like, Tortz.
What do you think of what Tortz said? Like, Tortz,
Tortz is a fucking brilliant dude. Look, man, listen. All these coaches, from Craig Berube to Everett, they're all fucking hockey nerds. They all call each other Hitch, Babs, Torts. They all fucking call each other the brightest minds in the fucking sport. They all talk to each other. They all coexist. They all like, what do you think about that? So if Torts says something that's a little bit out of bounds, there's something to it that's true. I'm just telling you. And don't call him, they're fucking dumb. What? Sit down and have a toe-to-toe conversation with him and see where you're left at. You'll be like, where am I at? I'm telling you, these guys, not that everything he said is right, and the way he said it could do it in a different way, but there's always some meaning towards it. He's not just saying it to be a fucking jackass. Anyway, that's just my.
Well, I mean, listen,
and he needs to come on our podcast too, that motherfucker.
Well, he doesn't like doing that type of stuff. But he's paid to have opinions. I mean, you don't have to agree with his opinion, but I think there's some truth and some not so true material in what he said, man. It's kind of like a combination of the two. You know, it's hard to really chirp Connor McDavid right now and say he needs to do anything different. But then again, his playoff track record would suggest that whatever he brings to the table in the playoffs, it hasn't been good enough. So until that narrative changes, and it's only going to change if this guy's able to have some success and go out there and dominate the way he does in the regular season, in the postseason, and whether you like it or not, because people like to say, well, he doesn't have enough help around him. At the end of the day, he's Connor McDavid, man. He's got to put the rest of the team, the entire organization, all of Alberta, all of Edmonton, he's got to put everyone on his shoulders.
Yes,
and he's got to take them to the promised land, man. That's what happens when you're the greatest player on the earth. It's not about everybody else. You win with Connor McDavid, and the reality is you lose with Connor McDavid. So when we get to the postseason this year, same thing will happen in Toronto. Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, the whole group over there. We will judge them based on what they do in the postseason. Have they learned from previous playoff series and whatever mistakes that were made, and have they been able to make the proper adjustments to have success in the playoffs? And, you know, listen, Tortorella, he took a team, they swept Tampa Bay that was historically one of the greatest teams in the history of the NHL, and they beat them in 4 straight. And he probably said, hey, some of these guys, we can expose them on Tampa Bay. They're great players, but they're great regular season players. And maybe it took that experience for Tampa Bay to figure it out in the postseason.
Andy, great point. And another thing is he's a Stanley Cup winner. The guy's, again,
a long time ago, but yes.
Well, you still did it, dude.
100%,
you still
100%.
did it, dude. In Tampa, you did, like before. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And he's had his flaws, and he says dumb things here and there, but we like him. And he hasn't come on the pod, so I don't need to kiss his ass for anything.
No.
Until he does come on the podcast, of course. But you know what? But what I was going to say is, God, now I'm off. But with the Connor McDavid thing, like, honestly, remember the last playoff series, he had the puck last. Like, he had I know he scored a couple points, but he gave it away, and they came down and scored. Like, there's some things that he's going to have to learn. Now, he doesn't have to just shut up about things. And here's as far as drawing penalties, like if he's drawing a penalty, fucking call it. The other night against the Blues, Scandella hooked his ass down. And it's like, call that. Like, call that. Like, he deserves that in ways. He draws so many penalties, or he doesn't draw enough penalties where he's like tied with Racco Gudis and like drawing penalty thing. That's ridiculous. So if you could fix that, but other people are like, fix the playoffs. I'm like, man, no, dude. Look, he's walking through he's 1-on-4 now. He's walking through guys 1-on-4. Like in the playoffs, the guy's gonna be like, no, I'm gonna put my fucking fist in your chest and I'm gonna push you to the side. So once that happens 3 or 4 times, you can't get going, then you're gonna have to adapt your game. And that's maybe what Tortorella was talking about.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna slash the shit out of your ankle 3 times, and then I'm gonna do it again 48 hours later. Yeah, and then I'm gonna do it again 48. And so by the time we get to game 5 and 6,
well, you're
playing on one leg.
You're and, 1-on-3 and me.
Well, exactly. And that just doesn't work in the postseason. We all know the games are so tight, no matter how great you are and how bad you think the other team might be, man. I mean, you just can't predict anything in the playoffs because that's where the mental side of the game and the mentality that you bring to the ice, that's just as important as the actual ability and the skill level. And let me say this about McDavid, too. We'll be talking about this, and we've got plenty of time to get to it. 2 points I want to make. Number one, when we get to the postseason, the Matthews, Marners, it's going to be all over the place. And it's going to be it's going to be upstairs between the ears, too, like the mental grind of it. How do I change the perception of what people think of me in terms of my ability to be a winner, man? Every great player is labeled a great player primarily because of their ability to win. He needs to be a winner. And I do think that if the Olympics happen, which I assume that they're going to, I think being around a bunch of other winners in the Olympics and a coaching staff that has won, and just, being able to, even though it's Canada, Cam, and it's the Olympics, and they should always win the gold medal because they're so much better than everybody else. I think just getting that winning feeling for a guy like Connor McDavid, I think is going to help translate and maybe take some of that pressure out because he'll be celebrated if they win a Stanley Cup. He plays in the Canadian, if they win the gold medal. He plays in a Canadian city, and maybe that'll reduce some of the pressure he's feeling heading into the playoffs because he gets that winning feeling and a taste of winning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe if he wins, you're acting like they're going to fucking shit snap everybody.
Well, listen, you never know either. I mean, you listen to Team USA, and they have something to say about that. Sweden, Finland.
Or how about Kobe's like, Russia? Motherfucker, I'm Ilya Kovalchuk. Badass dude, by the way. I know a lot of people don't like Kovalchuk. I am telling you, all you fans, him.
Go back and listen to the episode we had him on, man.
All you Devils fans who I love, I'm going to see you all in March. We're going to go up there and party and have a good time. But
I'm getting a lot of messages about that. They're reaching out to me about coming with you, Cam.
I don't think they
considering
are.
It.
Or they want you to drop the puck or something, Andy, because you did a report on the Devils guy back in fucking 2003. Listen to me. He is a unbelievable dude. The nicest, good, great teammate. I know it sounds weird what he did and shit. Like, I can't explain. Whatever it is. There's so many different political sides of things whenever you're Ilya Kovalchuk. But he is a unreal human being. Laughs at all my jokes. That's why I love him. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
No, great.
I mean, Canada should win. I mean, how do you not win if you're Canada? I mean, you just look at the roster they're going to – I mean, look at their centers that they're going to have down the middle with Crosby and McDavid and McKinnon. I mean, all these – someone's going to have to play wing. You got all these guys.
They're all loaded, dude.
I mean,
they're all fucking – I can't wait. They're going to be – they're going to be extra good because they're not going to be able to do shit in China. There's gonna be stuff in China. They're gonna be this extra fucking I can't wait to fucking do something.
I think there's a lot of things to do in China. I've heard from a number of people on my walks throughout the neighborhood and stuff like that. It sounds amazing.
How about that tennis girl is it a tennis girl that got abducted because she got sexually assaulted by somebody on
what are you talking about?
Yeah,
see, this is what happens. Dude. This is the COVID Cam where he's got nothing to do. He reads shit all day long. He's on YouTube 24/7. What is going on here?
Yeah, but it's a big fucking deal in the sports world. What are you talking about? Even the NBA guys are talking about it. Fucking Serena Williams came out with a tweet and talked about it.
Really? So this is it a American woman?
No. A Chinese athlete. I forget if she's tennis or whatever. Yes. Wow. And she got abducted. And she's abducted now by
they don't know where the government
because she came out and said somebody in one
really?
of the Yeah, I sexually harassed her and stuff like that. How about you do
our
your
thoughts are with her, man.
homework?
Our thoughts are with her, and let's hope.
But fuck,
let's
you
hope
start
somebody
beaking me like I'm a fucking bitch sometimes, and I'm like, you're the one that doesn't know shit.
COVID Cam has a lot of time on his hands.
You're the one
right
that
now.
doesn't know shit. Well, fuck, don't have fucking 3 kids then.
My wife says she is leaving right now, and she'll have those mashed potatoes for you at the end of the driveway. So if she's going to take them out there.
No, you're going to have her do it. Poor girl.
I can show you.
Don't have anybody come out by me, especially now. I'm contaminated. I told you.
So anyway, in all seriousness, just so people know, this is a serious story. I hope they find her whereabouts very soon, and I hope she's safe.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay. In that regime, yeah, okay. Like you guys, it's so ridiculous.
What do you know about the Chinese regime? Yeah, you got a lot of knowledge on them. I mean, what do you know?
They're very powerful. And they control the media, and they control they your control thought, and you're not allowed to fucking do anything. And it's North Korea-esque, but not. But they also make they're huge, and they have a huge military too. By the way,
yes, they do. Yeah,
and they're trying.
It's not quite North Korea, but it's certainly
it's way bigger.
More in that
scarier
direction.
North Korea. It's 10 times scarier. 20 times scarier in North Korea.
You think it's scarier? I mean, there's different ways to look at it.
We do a lot of business with them. We're not relying on North Korea for anything. We do, and not to mention we have South Korea down there with all our troops that my grandfather fought in the fucking Forgotten War. But no, China's they're crazy, and everybody talks about climate change and stuff. Well, you got to control China and India.
I have a Korean aunt, true story, who was adopted into my dad's family when I was a young kid. So I mean, I know a little bit about.
That's the most ridiculous, stupid fuck statement I've ever heard in my life. A Korean story has nothing to do with China. What are you talking about?
Well, you were talking about North Korea and South Korea. I know a little bit about Korea.
Everybody knows Korean.
I've got Koreans in the
family.
Everybody
knows Korean people.
Yeah. No, well, not. They may not be in their. They may not be in their family. They're in my family.
I know somebody. I have a black friend, so I know things. I am aware of things.
I have a Korean family. That's just all I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of different. There's things that when they're in your family that versus having a neighbor that you wave to or whatever. Like, this is part of the family.
It's Indian.
I got a lot of Indian neighbors too. I make amazing Indian food, and I'm actually thinking about
craving some Indian food. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Dude, well,
I will go.
Give me 30 days to hang out with you,
beer.
and then we'll go.
The Taj Mahal beer. It's called.
Hey,
I always go to this little place. No one's ever in there, and I go in there like, "Hi, everyone." I fucking tip them, and they hook me up. I get curry. Oh, I love it. But if your neighbor's cooking curry in a hotel, it's fucking disgusting. Go ahead.
I require 3 negative tests from you, so if you can present those to me before.
Like this. I'll chill. I don't need to be around you
before I allow myself to.
I'm not. I don't have kids. I'm not around. I'm not at the games. I chill out here.
You tried to blame me for giving you COVID, by the way. That's what Cam does. And hold on, let me just explain to people. Let me explain to people.
I'm like, you act like I'm around filthy animals, like Lake of the Ozarks, swimming in fucking hepatitis A through Z pools. Man, when it got a bad rep, I don't do that. Kate and I fucking walk trails out here where Lewis and Clark fucking did. You're hanging out with kids and shit, and your kids are sweet, but the kids they hang out with are licking fucking doorknobs. Then you're telling me that get the fuck out of here. I got it from a gas station way out in Franklin County.
Well,
get on with your motherfucking self.
There's a number of different things. So, Cam, listen, he's a finger pointer. I told him, I said, listen, you got to be accountable.
You made me just say it. You made me just say it.
And I said it to you.
I said it to you. No. I said it to you privately on the fucking phone, and then you bring it up here, and then now I explain it to you, and then now you blame me for telling people. So fuck you. Now what?
Okay.
Now what are you gonna say? Now what are you gonna say?
Man, Ovi 2 more goals last night. Listen, I don't really want Ovi to catch Gretzky, even though it's probably going to happen. Do you?
Yeah, man. Yes.
Let me say that. Can I say this is the most impressive accomplishment in the history of sports if he catches Wayne Gretzky? To do it in this era.
I don't know
how many goals would he have had.
I don't know if I know enough about sports to be.
Well, I'm just.
Is there a home run thing? Yeah, maybe, Andy. Maybe. Look, Gretter.
You catch Wayne Gretzky in goal scoring in this era where goal scoring is very hard. where I was a top 10 scorer at Parkway North on a couple of games against very elite goaltending. But goaltending is very hard to score nowadays, Cam. And you know that. I mean, you had 6 in like over 300 games. You scored 6 times in 300. So you know how hard it is.
You saw my fight video today of me pounding Brad May with them lefts, though.
No, I saw the tweet.
I got the crowd going, and I had fun that night. So that's all that matters.
I think you broke his cheekbone.
And you know what? I partied that night, not because of that.
So let me just explain.
I love
it is so difficult to score in the modern game, and for this guy to do it at the level and the rate that he's done it throughout his entire career, and if he catches Wayne Gretzky,
I get you. Well, here's my thing. I get what you're saying with that. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look up, there's probably I don't know. There's got to be something that's after. But I get what you're saying. But the reason why I want him to beat Gretzky, although we love Wayne, like I'm telling you guys, he's such a fucking cool guy. He came on our podcast 99th. Like he's like, okay, cool. Like he doesn't have to do it. Just he doesn't have to do anything. But he calls you by your first name. You meet him a couple times. He remembers you. He remembers Andy's name, which is very bizarre. He remembered my name, and I'm like, oh God. Like that kind of shit. Like he always is happy. Like he's fucking awesome. But if anybody's going to beat any one of his records,
he follows the English. He follows the English league. That's how he first became aware of you. He watched the EIHL game. And he fought in that game.
No, Wayne. Oh God. I'm like, no, I met him. Shut up, Andy. But the point is, if any cool cat's going to do it, no offense to Patrick Marleau beating Gordie Howe. He's just kind of like this. Patrick Marleau, like great guy, loves his children. People love him. But
I didn't like that. I'm
with Gordie to keep the Gordie, But with this, I'm like, fucking Ovi's so goddamn cool. He took over this Washington, D.C. town. City that's not a city. It's just he took it over. He's going to have fucking Russian goddamn statues in Washington, D.C. of the Russian collusion. You got this guy who you just is absolutely adore. He waterboards himself when he wins, wearing sandals like a fucking idiot. Doesn't give a fuck. He's awesome. Everybody loves him. If he's going to break anything, I want him to do it. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, but it is a little weird. I will say this: like he's one of those recent examples of these guys that are like they're not slowing down at an advanced age where most people do. So I'd like to talk to Mr. and Mrs. Ovechkin to see what they're putting in his mashed potatoes, man.
I don't give a fuck what they're doing. I don't even give a shit.
Stronger and stronger.
Andy, now listen to me. They test for what they need to test for. Not that he's doing it. Look at his body.
Well, I don't know. I don't even
he's
know
like
what
a bigger version of your body. They're like milk baggish. He ain't Tom Wilson where he's fucking cut fucking shreds. He looks like you, like goofy, but he's got that big barrel fuck chest. Like he's like Fedor Emelianenko, one of my favorite MMA fighters ever. Never fought in UFC.
No, he did. He did.
No one cares about what you have to say about Fedor. You already know look at. You check those YouTube. Oh God! But Fedor was kind of built like a milk bag, but he'd come in like fucking pull you down. He do whatever. Awesome athlete. That's that Russian type. Even Kobe's not that fucking cut up. To be honest with you, he's very handsome though. Very handsome guy.
No, a lot of the Russians aren't. I mean, super cut. I mean, like some of them are like
bigger.
Well, who's the guy that fought Rocky?
Ivan Drago. And now you think, is he Russian? Oh boy, he's actually very, very smart, very intelligent guy.
I'm just saying, not everybody's built
Dolph
like
Lundgren.
him.
Dolph Lundgren. Yeah. I don't even know if he's Russian. I believe he is Norwegian in a way. I think he's Swedish or something.
Yes,
he's a model, and he's a very brilliant guy, Andy.
Follow him on Instagram. I see him on Instagram
Dolph
and stuff. He's got wonderful daughters, and he's just a great family, man.
Real quick, Andy, just funny how you go on different tangents. Because if you do research on stuff, you know stuff. Adam Scorgi, who produced the Ultimate Fight thing with Chaser and all that. What's it called? One Chaser to have them interview me.
Dancing with the Blades. Dancing with the
Scorgi, awesome guy. He's doing a documentary on Dolph Lundgren. And it's going to be very interesting because of how brilliant that man is.
Wow, that's amazing. Guy. That's amazing. I'm glad I brought that up.
Thank you. Thank you. Talk about your tree.
So Mike Richards is on this edition of the Cam Strick Podcast. Cool ass dude. Again, had him on my list for quite a while, and I'm glad we were able to finally make it work, man. He's a guy who was so accomplished, Cam, coming up through the ranks and getting to the NHL, and such a good player right off the bat, captain, all the types of that, wins a couple of cups in Los Angeles, and then it just kind of fizzled out a little bit, just kind of went away a little bit. So again, the LA team was very cool. We know that. We've had other guys from that team on, and again, it just kind of fizzled out. He had that issue, which he really didn't want to get into. In fairness, what took place, which ended his run with the Los Angeles Kings and whatever. For whatever reason, he can't truly dive into that. There was a settlement. We don't really know exactly what that number is and whatever. So, and he should have gotten some money back from whatever. And they tried to terminate.
We didn't ask him that, Andy. I asked him about painkiller abuse, and he didn't want to even get into that. So,
well, no, but he did. He gave a great answer about it. Gave a great answer.
Actually, I don't remember.
Well, I know you don't. Yeah. Again, this is what happens to you when you say, I don't know what you've been doing the last couple of days. You don't remember anything.
Well, this was a week ago. Time out. No, I remember asking him about, hey, did you get caught up? And he did. He answered in a way a lawyer would. He didn't answer in a way like, dude, man.
No, I know. You're right.
No,
you're right.
Andy, what are you talking about? Yeah, damn right, I'm right on that.
Yeah,
what are you talking about? I remember it was lawyer-like.
But then all of a sudden he started lawyer-like, and then he became like unlawyer-like.
Yeah, but I thought he got jacked up, and I just wanted to go with him and talk to him because it makes you feel good when you talk to somebody else. But never mind.
But again, very accomplished, and I think, and he's married. His wife rides horses. He's just kind of like
she's a badass biatch, dude. She's a badass. Yeah. I was like, what's she do now? She's riding horse. I'm like, God
like
damn.
Unicorns.
Be happy. Are you? Because he kind of sounded down a little bit, and I think that was just his personality.
His personality. He's chill. He's chill.
Be happy. You got a good thing going. She's probably a dime piece too, riding horse. What the fuck?
I know.
I wish I had money to have Kate ride a horse. She looks sexy in it.
Cam, I've done horseback riding. I've done horseback riding on several occasions.
Your wife looks sexy too on one. You, on the other hand, you're like, help, help me, Lori. I do it with no fucking shirt on, with a fucking cowboy hat on, like badass.
Okay, no, don't do that. He's so connected to Jeff Carter. It's almost crazy, like how much hockey they've played together and they've won together. Even in the minors in the American League, they win a championship.
Dude. I asked if they get married.
But that Flyers team, Cam, and you were close to them, really cool. Because playing in New Jersey, right? Yeah. Jersey, Philadelphia. If you look at a map, Cam, it's not very far from one another. And that Philadelphia team, there were always rumors about the partying and all this suggestion that they really took it to the next level. And maybe there were some issues going on with the Philadelphia Flyers. I mean, I asked him about that. It may have been when you went to the restroom or something. I don't know. But I did ask him about that. And he gave an answer that would certainly confirm that, they got after it big time over there in Philadelphia.
I know. I remember. And he said they went to a couple places and had a couple beer and a steak. I'm like, oh, ain't no big deal. I'm thinking about what we did here in St. Louis. We're out of control. Like literally out of control.
Oh, did you guys party more in St. Louis with the Blues than you did in Jersey?
Dude, we had Lou in Jersey. We had to be sneaky, and it was all class. Like we'd sneak beer and wine on the. Everything was this kind. We're in Jersey the first couple of years. We were out of control, flying around, doing whatever.
In Jersey or St. Louis?
St. Louis, man. So I'm like, you already
quit saying Jersey.
Well, it's not Jersey. It was Lou Lamoriello. You had to do. You had him watching all the time. But in with Osh and all the guys, like we're all young and high note. We're all partying hard, man. But we showed up and busted our ass. But we didn't have the team that they did. We weren't spent up to the cap like they were. They were supposed to win. We were the young kids
rebuilding.
So, But on the other hand, it's like what he said to the question is like, oh, we're just chilling, having steak. I'm like, well, there's probably more to that. But what people saw us doing, I mean, it's like, what the fuck?
Okay, you know what? Come grow with us. That's like an amazing marketing slogan for Hair Club. Really, and I want to tell everybody out there, if you need Hair Club, which whether you think you don't, you probably do anyway. Come grow with us. That's the way I look at it. Just come grow with us. Yeah. They've got hundreds and hundreds of different solutions for everybody that's out there. Honestly, no matter if you have like one piece of hair that's missing versus like thousands of it. I mean, no matter what it is, man, there's a solution for. Right. Well, I'm just saying there's a solution for everybody. So again, come grow with us with Hair Club. They are growing. They're everywhere throughout throughout USA, Canada, North America, everywhere throughout North America. And they love the game of hockey. And right now you can go to our landing page, Cam, hairclub.com/Cam and Strick. 800-279-7878. Again, 800-279-7878. And book an appointment for a free consultation, whatever you need. Right there from our landing page, you're going to get $250 off your first purchase of any of the solutions that they have, man. And again, they've got great shampoos, conditioners. You walk into one of those places, Cam, explain the universe that they are truly walking into when you go into a hair club facility.
Well, you're fucking scaring them, dude. Like all it is, you walk in, there's like three ladies, and they're like the sweetest people. Hi, how you doing? Like, hi, I just have. They're like, here, we'll sign you up right now. Here you go. Here's a doctor. And they're like, hey, what do you think? Okay, well, let's take you downstairs. We'll put you in this nice, comfy ass chair. We'll put this like sonic thing on so you can see your scalp magnified. And this lady's just like, here you go. And they're like, it's like what Boo does when she lays on me. And I'm like, and then I'm like, and they're like, you're here. And this is here's our options we have. By the way, we have shampoo. We have this. We have a little hat that you can put on that you plug in that just magnifies.
Amplifies.
Fuck. It makes it grow. Okay. It makes it grow. And you're like, okay, I'll get that motherfucker. Then you're like, I want to put this and that. And you're like, oh man, but they're sweet. And it's easy to walk through. So stop making it out like you're walking through some fucking carnival. You walk in, there's like lovely, they're like, hi, come here and sit down. No one's looking at you. No one's fucking judging. No one does anything. They just help your fucking hair grow back.
And I'm glad you pointed that out because they are incredible people. And it's very comfortable for everybody. And I want everyone to take advantage of it. 800-279-7878. Go to our landing page, camandstrick.com/hair club. They've got some videos on there for you, Cam. If anybody out there, just watch some of these videos and kind of educate yourself a little more in terms of, how they could potentially help you. And I think that's important because they are there to help everybody, no matter what your situation, a solution for everyone. So come grow with us with Hair Club, hairclub.com/Cam and Strick. All right. The Cam Strick Podcast is also brought to you by our friends over at Car Shield, Cam, 800-857-2481. Again, 800-857-2481. Back away from the mic if you're going to do that.
Man, this mic's already contaminated.
Back away from the mic if you're going to try doing that.
I'm 40 miles away from you.
You got 10 days.
You got look, don't make me say it again. You have children who are lovely, but the children they hang out with are licking fucking doorknobs.
No, they're not.
So that contaminates shit. So just remember that.
Okay.
I ain't around that. I ain't around it. And you're
carshield.com
hugging on people because of me.
Hey, you never know when something's going to go down, though, Cam. That's what Car Shield does. You have a alternator, brakes, engine, computer. We're talking thousands and thousands of dollars. And you just don't know when this is going to happen. There's no warning sign. Use your money for you, for your family. You got holidays coming up and whatever. That's why you got to sign up with Car Shield and do it today. So everything is taken care of. You get that peace of mind. You can take it to any mechanic that you want. They hook you up with a rental car. Use that promo code CAM, which I know is embarrassing, but in this case, listen, I wouldn't send you down this road if I didn't think it could help you. It'll save you money. Use that promo code CAM. Sign up today with Car Shield. How about Bellman and Bellman.com? Cam, BEHLMANN.com. There's 2 N's on that Bellman, baby.
I want that motherfucking Dodge right now. No, I'm telling you, we're binge watching shit, in this fucking Yellowstone thing, dude. I'm telling you, that 83 show that's like an offshoot to Yellowstone, which is back in fucking the 1800s, which is shit kicker, which is when shit kickers are around, Andy, unlike you, badass motherfuckers. And you got awesome actors and actresses in that, and they're cruising around doing their thing. But the big thing I like about the newer version of Yellowstone is they got those badass Dodge Rams. Kevin Costner shooting it and stuff. They're getting their guns shot and they're alive. That means they're really safe, right? Yeah, and they're busting through shit and they're carrying fucking cattle. I want one of those, Andy. Yeah, I'm a cowboy.
Well, again, they have that Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram on one side of the street in Troy, Missouri. Get out there today. On the other side is just a skip, hop, and a jump. To the other side, they've got that Buick and GMC. So again, they got something for everybody. Buick, GMC on one side of the street, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram on the other side. So be sure to check that out. Bellman.com. Go in there and see them today. BEHLMANN.com, baby. How about our friends over there at Daredevil Hockey, too? Do you know a true story? Ty got cut with a skate this morning, but he was
Who did it?
A kid, like a skate, and
I'm making a phone call.
He was wearing his Daredevil. I swear He was wearing his Daredevil. I'll bring him back in here to tell the story. He's wearing his Daredevil shirt. And
don't traumatize the poor child.
No cut whatsoever. Did not cut the skin. It had a little bit of a red mark, but it didn't cut the skin. And I said to myself, God, if he wasn't wearing that, how bad could it have been? Like, would we be in the emergency room right now? Like, would he be getting stitches?
His head could have got chopped off.
On? Well, it was in the stomach area, like the midsection.
Well, it would have been
very serious.
Full all the way down.
So again, and this is what I'm talking about. Daredevil hockey. This is a preventative measure, man, to protect your kid from skate lacerations, the number one cause of emergency room visits for youth hockey players. DaredevilHockey.com. Check it out. It's got the Kevlar base layer. It protects your child, man, your blood. It could protect you if you're playing men's league hockey. Junior hockey players are wearing this all over the world. Same with NHL players, dude. It's light. You can't even feel it. It's an amazing, amazing product, and we're happy to have Daredevil Hockey with us here on the Cam Strick Podcast for this reason. Use that promo code Cam Strick, all caps. It's going to save you 25%. That is huge savings on Daredevil. This is the perfect Christmas gift for the hockey player in your family. So check that out. DaredevilHockey.com. Yes.
Christmas time is here again.
All of it is great for
fucking Winterland out here, baby. I ain't playing.
How's your betting going? Are you winning money, Cam?
No, I mean, look, I don't even if I'm up a little and I'm down a little, all that matters is I'm more engaged into the games, and it makes it kind of fun. Even with the wife, we'll chill. Like, be like, we got nothing to do. Let's fucking bet on this fucking game. Like, go to my bookie. Like, what's up? And then all of a sudden, we're like, I'm engaged now. I'm engaged. Even if I lose 40 or 100 here, it doesn't matter because I win it back, and it's all even in the end if you're not crazy.
I know. And use that promo code Cam Strick. No and in there, Cam Strick. They double your money up to your first $1,000 that you deposit. All right, this year, Turkey Day at MyBookie gives you plenty of reasons to be thankful, man. We know that. Starting with $250 risk-free bet on Thursday afternoon when the Cowboys host the Raiders. $250 risk-free bet. Bet the spread. The Raiders and Cowboys at MyBookie. When you win, you win. And if you don't, MyBookie will refund you up to $250. This seems too good to be true. Simply put, you can't lose this bet. And that's what we call a no-risk, all-gravy bet, Cam. No risk, all gravy, man. Even if you lose, they still give you $250. So before you get your wager in, set yourself up for success, doubling your first deposit when using the promo code Cam Strick at mybookie.ag. That's promo code Cam Strick to double your initial deposit all the way up to $1,000. So you won't need to break the wishbone to be the one to come out ahead, man. This is like one of the best Thanksgiving reads of all time. Risk-free, feast on it on Turkey Day with MyBookie, and make sure to stick around for seconds as they gear up for what should be a fun Black Friday as well, Cam, with tons of odd boosts that'll have your belly and your pockets full. MyBookie, baby. Bet anything, anywhere, anytime with MyBookie. We'll talk about Black Friday next week here on the Cam Strick Podcast.
Oh, my God.
All right, local legend. Do you see Cam Ty wearing that local legend hat? They sent him a youth
cute,
one.
Man. He should be a little model right now, man. Honestly,
they sent him a youth size, so they've got stuff for the kids too. www.bealocallegend.com. This clothing apparel, Cam. I'm so happy they came on board and we got to know these guys, man, because they make unbelievable stuff.
I got it on right now.
I know you do. How soft is that T-shirt? I
sleep in it because I'm cold.
Make sure you wash that separately from everything else. I don't be washing Kate's clothes.
Don't worry about my shit out here, dude.
Okay.
Don't worry. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I don't associate with anybody. I don't mingle.
I know what's going on, dude. Wash that.
What's going on?
Well, you're just a little under the weather right
movies.
now. Well, we wish you nothing but health and happiness, though. I hope you're doing.
I like how you're chirping my fucking.
No, you're doing great. You told me you're fine. Local legend. They've got the barware. This is like our gift to you for Christmas time is to let you know about what they have over there at Local Legend, man. The hoodies, the hats, everything fits perfectly. I just put my hands up in the air, Cam. It just like falls on top. It's like falls out of the sky. Like the hoodie just falls right on top.
Everything's big on you, Andy.
No, this is perfect. This is a perfect fit. I'm a medium, man, with Local Legend. Be a Local Legend. Check it out. Use that promo code Strick. Just Strick. That's all you need to know, and it's going to save you lots of money. So we love that. No. Just Strick. So be a Local Legend at Be a Local Legend on Instagram too.
Yeah, they're good.
Great Instagram account, and they've got an unbelievable website as well. Be a Local Legend. If you know a local legend, then you're familiar with this product, man. It just fits everything because everyone was born around and raised around a local legend. Could be somebody you know. I don't know.
Speaking of one, Jinsey Dunn and the girls are playing Team Canada at Centene. So get fucking rapper and Lancey boy out there.
I tweeted it out.
Yeah.
Probably broke that story.
No, I did. I know. Because she's a fucking badass, dude.
Yes, she is.
Talking about
she
badass,
skates with us. When she's in town, she skates with us. Her sister's on the team that I coach, Joy, who just committed to Ohio State, going in Jinsey's footsteps. Couple of local legends. Their brother Josh was in the Blue Jackets organization. They are great people.
They're all sweet,
and they are local legends too.
Yep.
So again,
that's what I do right there, Andy.
A lot of us know local legends, and it could be a coach, could be somebody that you were raised by. It could be, I don't know, Cam. Could be someone that
Andy,
you know.
I do know. Why you trying to say that you're one? You're getting
well, who knows?
You're getting
Everybody is. Everybody is in their own way. Everybody's a local legend. Unless you're check that out. Be a local legend. That's their Instagram account. And then my custom sports chair. Before we get to Mike Richards, use that promo code Cam&Strick20. Cam&Strick20 will save you 20%. These are by far the coolest gifts you can give anybody. Customize the chair with any team, any name and number on the back, whatever you want to put on there. What do you think of people that go to Blues games or like an NHL game? They have like their own name on the back of the jersey.
You know what you could do if you're
a Blues fan? Is that okay?
Yeah, because that's what
you put your you put your own name.
Put your name on the back of it. It's the same as just a fan doing it. But I'm telling you, like Blues fans, you could probably get that badass new white Winter Classic uni.
Oh yeah,
wrapped
on a chair.
That's shit kicker right there. That's what I would get.
It is. It is. Yeah, these are 100% Canadian made Adirondack chairs. They stand up in any weather condition. Cam's put them on his Instagram. I've done it as well. I've got a USA Hockey one, man, a big Walt Keith Tkachuk one.
Bad, yeah, I like that.
And ask about the Cam and Strick podcast chairs too.
They look good.
Hook up one of those.
They look good. They look so good.
We appreciate their support. This is the last time that our situation is running up because we want people to get it in time for Christmas. And we appreciate the support that we got from everybody over there. Matt Roberto, all these guys. They're great guys, great Canadians. And we're certainly happy that we got to know these guys and everything else. But we want you to go and certainly support a great business like this out of Canada. It's like a local business in Canada helping people all over the world.
Exactly.
So check that out. My custom sports chair. Use that promo code Cam&Strick20. You're going to save 20%. Get one today. All right, Mike Richards, man. This guy is very, very cool. Had success at every level. And we always wanted to have him on and talk to him, man. And I'm glad we did. Great conversation. One of the best conversations we've had in quite a while. I don't know. We always have good conversations with whoever we have on. This one is no different. Mikey Richards.
Mikey, bye.
On this edition of the Cam Strick Podcast, brought to you by Hair Club. Enjoy. The Cam Strick Podcast is brought to you by CarShield. You know, nothing more frustrating, Cam, than when that engine light comes on and you know right off the bat you're going to have to spend thousands of dollars to repair your vehicle. Call 800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM or visit carshield.com and use the code CAM to save 10%. Yeah. That's carshield.com. A deductible may apply. Save yourself money. Sign up and get your coverage now with carshield.com. Now to the interview.
Hi, Richie. Hi, Richie.
What's going on?
What up, dude?
Are you in Kenora?
I am in Kenora, yeah.
I need to know about Corona.
Don't call it Corona,
it's not
Andy.
Corona.
Jeez Louise.
Kenora. I need to know what's going on there. Are you like a legend?
Corona.
Are you able to walk around? Are they like, where is Mike Richards? He's the king of Kenora.
Where's Mikey?
No, it's. I mean, I grew up here, so it's small town Canada. Really, like it's not bad at all. Actually, the people that like Johnny Taves has a place here, and like Dustin Bufflin, I think they get a lot worse than I do, just because I grew up here, so I kind of know everybody. So it's pretty chill, actually.
Have you seen the big man, Dustin Bufflin? What's he up to?
I saw him once this summer. I think just with everything going on, he hasn't made it up as much, but he's not doing much. He's fishing a ton from what I know, and spending a lot of time down in Minnie, and that's about it.
All right, so
sounds good to me.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
I want to make that's my life goal. I just want to make 60, 70 million bucks and then just go away.
I'm like, what are you doing? I'm fucking fishing on my boat, homie.
Kind of like you, Mike. You know, it's like if you want to be like you, be like Mike.
Be like Mike, baby.
No, but that's kind of what it's like there, though. You can kind of hide there in Kenora, right? I mean, it doesn't sound like Philly. It doesn't sound like L.A., Mike. You know, it's like a different place, right? A completely different spot in the world.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, actually. In the summertime, it's awesome. In the wintertime, obviously, it's northern Canada, so it gets cold. But we actually take off to Florida for that part. But in the summertime, it's awesome. It's on the lake. It's a small town, like I said, so you can kind of hide out, get around, pretty relaxed area. And I grew up here, so I got a lot of friends. So it's always nice being back here, and family, friends, hang out, and just kind of really pick up where I left off when I was kind of growing up here, to be honest.
Of course he does, Cam. He goes to Florida.
Yeah.
He goes to Florida when it's winter.
Well, why
Canada.
wouldn't you, Andy? Now, what do you do down in Florida? Where in Florida? Like, you like your boats? You like the water and all that shit?
Yeah, West Palm Beach area. It's called Wellington. My wife actually has some horses, so she goes down to Wellington and rides, and then I bring my boat down and fish on Okeechobee, pretty much all freshwater stuff. So, it's a pretty good kind of deal we have going where you just kind of cruise down. She brings a horse, I bring a boat, and we kind of do our own thing down there.
I mean, you bring the horse. You bring the. I mean, can I just? Hey, do you have 3 hours? Because we may have to extend this interview to really talk. We got a lot of stuff to get into now. Now he's a cowboy.
He's a fucking cowboy.
He's fishing in front. The wife has horses. Oh my God! Where'd you meet the wife?
I've rode one horse, and it was in Florida, and that was kind of the trade-off years ago. She'd come down and fish with me if I went down and rode with her. So I rode once, and we have a bunch up here, but I haven't been on one of ours, and I don't plan to, so no cowboy for me.
I like machines, Mike. I like machines.
I know. I've seen you play. You could probably wrestle a horse if you wanted to, you know, if you wanted to box with a horse. Okay, hold on now.
Well,
where'd you meet the wife? Is she Canadian?
She's from Toronto, and then she's kind of outdoorsy too. So she is from Toronto, but kind of moved up here when we started seeing each other, and just kind of set up shop here. We got the farm probably 3-4 years ago. So she brought her horse up, and we got married during COVID, so it was kind of uneventful. So 2 years ago, or 2 summers ago, I guess, and we keep wanting to have a party, but everything keeps getting pushed back, and up here is a little bit different than down there for COVID restrictions and stuff like that. So we've, by the time we have a get-together, kind of a wedding, it's going to be like a 3-4 year anniversary by this rate, but it's going well. She loves the outdoors, so she... once she got up here to Kenora, she comes out fishing all the time. She it's kind of an outdoor paradise here, so she liked it, and that was a pretty big thing for me when
she's the opposite of you, Andy.
No.
She's the opposite of you.
Hey, Mike,
she's outdoorsy.
I'm coming to Kenora. Where is Kenora? Where are we? Are we in Ontario?
It's in northern Ontario, and it's fucking cold. Yeah. You ain't going up there.
Like where? Give me an idea where you are.
It's probably straight up, actually, from. So it's like straight up from Minneapolis, Chicago, like right on the Manitoba-Ontario border.
Yes, of course it is.
2 hours from Winnipeg.
Of course it is. Hey, who was at that wedding? Who was in that wedding? Justin Williams? He was he like your best man?
No, it was COVID. So there was literally my wife and I, and my parents came because we needed
witnesses.
Yeah.
So
mine did too.
That was it. And then the person that married us, and that was it. It was literally the most.
Well, you got to have that celebration down the road, Mike. You got to have
out
that
of
celebration.
Canada.
Yeah, well, that's what we were going to have it this summer too, and then it went from pretty much wide open to a bunch of stuff shutting down, and we didn't want to plan it if we had to cancel it again. So, like I was saying, it's going to turn into a 2-3 year wedding anniversary more so than a wedding party, but. It's all good. It was actually turned out to be pretty good because my family came over after, my brothers and that, and it was just a really easy day, to be honest. And like I said, it wasn't perfect, but it was stress-free and everything went well. We weren't getting divorced by the end of the day, so
that's always good. That's always good. That's always good.
Yeah.
He's like royalty, eh? Like that's what like Queen Elizabeth.
I mean, I don't know what's going on here, Mike. I mean, this is incredible stuff here that you're talking about. So, what do you do like on your day to day? Are you just chilling, just hanging out? Like, do you have like stuff that keeps you occupied, that keeps you busy? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, the farm, to be honest, it keeps me busy. In the summertime, it's actually pretty easy, just with everything going on. It's pretty packed. Around here in the summertime, I play softball with my buddies. I golf a lot, play a little tennis, and then with fishing in the farm, summertime's packed. Right now, it's pretty quiet, so I spend a lot of time out at the farm, kind of doing things that I should have done during summer. But it was actually kind of a savior to have that. It's a little business. It's not really a money-making thing. It's more just something to do. So it was a savior for me to keep busy during the pandemic of going out there, and there's always something that needs to be done. So go out there and kind of putter around and do what I need to.
But that's the bitch of it, though, Mikey, though, right? Like owning a farm. Like my buddy owns it. He's got some coin, military guy, he sold a company, and he asked me to help him like wrangle some fucking cattle. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. And I went down there, and it's a fucking pain in the ass. Everything he does is a pain in the ass. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I go, you might as well just go chill on a lake. So why do you have a farm if it's not a moneymaker?
She likes it. My wife likes it or loves it. She's out there every single day. And it kind of first started when, so she came up here, and we just brought her horse more so because she didn't know anyone from the area. So
did she arrive on her horse? Did she just like roll in
like Tristan from Legends of the Fall?
Oh yeah, you're like who is that on the like horse rolling through downtown Kenora?
When she got to town, it was just like riding it on a unicorn. But
that's a sexy.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
that's 100% true too. 100% true.
Yeah, exactly. So it just started with getting one horse, and then we got some property, and it turned into 2 horses, and now there's, I don't even know how much is out there, 12 or 13, and luckily it's just horses, so we're not kind of wrangling
like I did.
cows or anything.
Yeah. Don't ask me to help you.
I can help.
I said, it keeps me busy. It's it's really kept me sane in the last 2 years for the most part, because everything up here has been open, closed. So to go out there for an afternoon or a day to do some work and
meditation.
Fuck that.
Yeah, it
Take
is.
that horse and
to be
take
honest,
your shirt off.
See? It is.
No, I know
in the summertime, it's just relaxing to go out there, and it's you kind of got the rolling hills out there and the animals, and it is really therapeutic to go out there and just kind of hang out. So
I need to see some pictures.
I want to be Putin.
I need pictures of this farm. Hey, how many acres do you have?
There's 230, but it's a lot of it's bush, so there's like 60 acres cleared.
I've got some bush in my backyard too.
Andy, bush is like a bunch of fucking leaves and trees.
Well, no, I know, but I've got a lot of bush in my backyard. I've shown you that. I got a lot of woods in the backyard.
No, you don't.
Hey, listen, are you serious softball guy? I mean, how serious are you taking this softball game?
It gets pretty heated, to be honest. See? Like I'm competitive, obviously. So, it's mostly fun, and then like a few things happen in the game, and all my buddies I play with too are pretty competitive as well. So, it's not like fighting, but there's definitely some heated arguments, and it is all for fun. Obviously, everybody's there just kind of have a few beers and relax, but there are some days that get pretty competitive and some screaming matches, and because we all like ump our own games too.
Oh,
so
right.
You ump your team, so then there's some like shady business going on.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I'll tell you what. In softball, what I've learned is don't slide in the third hard. Don't piss people off, and don't hit at the pitcher, because who the hell wants to be the pitcher in a fucking softball game? Get one right down the pipe in your noggin.
I know.
Screw that.
Hey,
exactly.
The worst softball guy, Mike, is the guy. It's like it's barely on the edge, and he won't swing. And he's like, ball. They're calling their own balls and strikes. I mean, that's exactly what's going on.
Swing the fucking bat.
Swing the guy down. And, when we talked to Wendell Clark about this. Yeah, and Wendell Clark and some of these guys, great. They play serious softball, too. Yeah. We may have to put together a softball tournament here with some of these guys.
You be the manager, Andy, if you ain't playing.
Hey, so how much hockey are you watching nowadays? You still watch hockey at all or no?
When I first stopped playing, I didn't watch any. And I don't know, I was just kind of had hockey fatigue. And now I watch it. Like, I don't have the NHL network, so I just kind of watch whatever's on TV. And most of it's the Leafs and Jets, since we're close to Winnipeg. So I'll watch maybe 1-2 games a week of either of those two teams. I enjoy watching the Leafs. The Leafs have, I don't know, Matthews. It's an exciting brand of hockey to watch. So I'll watch them, and then I watch the Jets. I've been to a few Jets games over the past few years. But yeah, usually a few times, and then I'll watch playoffs too. I like watching playoffs.
Oh yeah. Oh god. Oh, you have to, man. Yeah, the Jets are fun to watch also. So what about you growing up and everything? Like, what was your lifestyle like growing up, and was it hockey? Like, were you like this phenom growing up in Kenora, or were you kind of relatively under the radar, Mike?
Yeah, no, just under the radar. Small town, so we kind of just played with, like if we were Pee Wee AA, we would play the Bantam Single A. So we never really traveled except to Winnipeg. But yeah, it was just hockey in the winter and golf in the summer. And really up until, I guess, my midget year was when I kind of just decided to go for it and kind of stopped golfing as much and just kind of put everything into hockey, and got drafted to Kitchener, and from there it was just strictly hockey.
Yeah, I remember playing against you in Kitch, man. That was a good little rivalry. I was playing in Windsor. You're in Kitch.
Yeah, I know you were.
Hey, how fun?
You scared the crap out of me the first time I played you. You're patrolling the red line.
Of course.
You fought Adam Kiefer. You guys had probably about a 2-minute fight, just trading punches to the face. Got in the penalty box, took your jersey off. You were just shredded and yelling to the crowd. And I was just like, I'm never going near that guy.
I told you that was a fantasy.
Hey.
I got to do it for the women.
Listen, all of that is true. Yeah, all of that is true except for him being shredded. I don't know about that part.
Fucking shredded.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw him in junior. I was just like a 16, 17-year-old kid, probably 180 pounds soaking wet. And I was just like, yeah, that guy's not going near him. But yeah, that was a fun place to play in Windsor, though. That old, I know they got a new arena, but that old arena was pretty awesome to go into. It was pretty electric, actually. And then when they had like Steve Ott, Spezza was there. It was a tough building. I vividly remember going in there, and it was pretty awesome.
You guys had a sick team, though. Who's on that? David Clarkson on that team. Played with him with the Devils too. He great guy. He was tough. Did his shit. You guys had a sick team, man. Yeah. Cool barn to play in. Like all these, we have a ton of parents that listen. Like if your kid could play in the OHL, I know it's like kind of a pretty large step from junior or from AAA or whatever, but it is an unbelievable league to play in. Even the travel's not even bad, No,
and that was kind of the whole thing. Like me being by Winnipeg, like growing up, I used to go to a bunch of Brandon Wheat Kings games, and like the dream was always to kind of play in the WHL. But since I was in Ontario, I kind of had to. And then once I got to the OHL, and then you start thinking about the travel and everything from, especially Kitchener, was like, 20 minutes to Guelph, 40 minutes to anywhere in Toronto. Everything was pretty local. And then just talking to guys from when you play with them on like under 17, under 18, it's like, we had a 20-hour bus ride to Vancouver or something. And you're just like, oh my God, like 20 hours on a bus. Like I was mad when I got drafted to the or not mad, but just like, I wanted to go out west, but because of the rules, I couldn't. But then once you hear the bus rides, I was like, I'm glad I'm here.
Dude, Andy, they're the worst. And guys spill their salad and you always have like the same kind of meal, and everybody's like laying down underneath it, and then like people like don't clean their shit up, so the salad dressing leaks on you. Guys are taking dumps in the back, which is a fine in my opinion, and the whole bus smells for fucking 20 hours. It's horrible.
Well, I couldn't even imagine, like in junior, like our longest ride from Kitchener was probably to Sioux, which I think was like 8 hours.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, but it wasn't like crazy or anything. But imagine being on a bus with like 16 to 20-year-olds for 20 hours after a hockey game or something. It would just be like I couldn't even imagine. So I'm happy I went the OHL.
Yeah, all right, so you guys won a Memorial Cup back then, right? And so I mean, that's the memory of that. Like of everything you've accomplished in hockey, gold medal, Stanley Cups. We'll get into all that. But where does the junior career? How does that stand out?
Yeah, I mean, that was the first time I really won anything. So it was pretty crazy, actually, that year. We had, like you were saying before, like we had an unreal team. Steve Eminger, who was, I think, a first-rounder, Derek Roy, Greg Campbell, Andre Benoit, who played a little in the NHL but was an unbelievable junior player.
Oh, yeah.
Peter Kanko, who got drafted to L.A., who was had a cup of coffee too, but another just unreal junior player. We just had a really good team. We had it was just fun, you know, like it was the first time I've ever kind of won anything major. So to go on that run, win the OHL, and then the Memorial Cup in Quebec, which was a good time too.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I was like 17 years old, still kind of like naive and everything, so it wasn't like the complete Quebec experience, but it was still really the 4 years in junior, to be honest. We always had good teams, and Pete DeBoer always kind of put us every single year in a good spot to win. So that was probably the most enjoyable kind of 4 years of hockey that I had. It was just literally just hockey, go to the rink twice a day in the morning and for practice, and it was just hockey, and we always had good teams, so there wasn't any like I don't know, kind of crap around the rink that you had to worry about. It was always just
no drama,
hockey and fun. Yeah, it was
drama.
It was a riot.
Hey, what'd you think of Pete back then? Like, did you see a guy that was going to go on to have success in the NHL? And listen, he's been to the final in New Jersey. Cam was on that team. But, you know, there's been like, he's had several stops, whatever. He's in Vegas now. Like, did he ever try to trade for you and like bring you on board in the NHL? And like, what was he like? You guys have a good relationship or what?
Yeah, really good relationship. He was awesome in junior. He was very strict, but he like just every time he said something to me, anyways. Like I know he was hard on some guys, but I thought in junior he was very good. Even talking to guys after they leave junior, he was very good at identifying guys that needed to be pushed or needed to kind of take a step back and just kind of let them play. So I had a good relationship. Steve Splotch, who's actually with him in Vegas right now too. It was kind of that good cop, bad cop, and Spotter was always the guy to lighten the mood and make sure everyone was having fun. And they were just really, really smart hockey guys that kind of knew what you needed in that time, whether it was to be pushed, whether it was to be, you know, kind of let off you a little bit and just kind of let you figure things out. So, and to answer your first question, when I finished with LA and I was kind of just waiting out some stuff off the ice before I joined Washington, he was with San Jose at the time, and I know it was either Washington or San Jose, and San Jose was where he was, and I was just trying to decide which team to go to be honest, and I chose Washington, obviously, in the end, just because I thought they had a better chance of winning, and then it actually backfired because San Jose was in the finals that year, and we got beat out by Pittsburgh in the second round, so probably made the wrong choice, but at the end of the day, it was a good time in Washington, and I kind of actually felt bad after not going, because I'm guessing Pete had something to do with wanting me to go to San Jose too, so it probably would have been more beneficial to go there, but it is what it is, and I've always appreciated what he's done and what him and Spotter did for me before I got to the NHL my 4 years in Kitchener.
Yeah, no, for sure. He would want you in San Jose. I want to make a correction. Cam was a Black Ace.
Shut up,
2012. Andy. He was not on the team.
But I was the captain of the Black Aces, so I took care of those motherfuckers. I did.
He was just making sure.
I actually talked to him.
Yes, and you gave great pump-up speeches and all that type of stuff, too. So
that was embarrassing.
Hey, what about in Washington, real quick before we move on, because you got to play with Ovi for a little bit, and now he's passing Brad Hall, and he's inching closer and closer. Like, was this guy a cool teammate? Like, did you like, hanging out in Washington for a year?
Yeah, he was the best. He was just, I think, because I knew him a little bit just from playing against him so much, and then there's all-star games and just kind of everything that you run into each other throughout your career. And so I kind of knew him a little bit, and then once you get there, one, you see actually how incredible he is and how incredible his shot is and how much he works. But just, I think when I was in Philly, for sure, kind of all the talk was about him being a leader and stuff and just kind of being too relaxed and stuff like that. But then when you play on his team and how intense he is and how hard he works and everything, it just kind of like it just shows why he's had so much success. Like, he works really hard off the ice and especially on the ice. Like, he's just got a natural born goal scorer mentality and goal scorer shot. But then when you see him, shooting pucks after practice and stuff like that, it's definitely earned. It's not just something that has come naturally to him. And I don't know, he's just incredible, to be honest. I don't even know what words to use, but his knack for scoring goals is something that I definitely envy.
He's a fucking man. That's what he is. I'll say it.
He is the man.
He is a man.
And the best teammate too, like a guy that is always making sure, like when I got to Washington, he was always just kind of around making sure everything was good and making sure everybody's comfortable, and pretty much everyone on that team was. So they have a pretty good gig going there, and I wasn't surprised. I think the year after I left, they won, and I wasn't surprised, and I was happy for them because they definitely deserved to win. I think they just had some bad beats before that, but it was definitely nice to see Ovi and Backstrom and Oshie and those guys lift the cup.
Oh, yeah. They're the coolest team in the league.
They are.
Sorry.
And as hard as he works, though, like he just seems so naturally gifted, though. Like he's like, everyone's like, I don't know how many goals he'll get at 37, 30. Like, until he shows signs of slowing down, it's not even worth having that conversation because he's not even coming close to slowing down right now at 36.
No, and to be honest, he just scores out well. Like, his shot, like, I've always kind of been envious of guys that are just natural goal scorers who, like, I've always had to kind of work for my goals, where guys, like, kind of know where and when to shoot the puck. And then to match that with his incredible release, incredible one-timer, incredible slap shot, incredible pretty much everything, I just don't see him not doing it, especially when you look at the numbers. I don't know exactly what he is, but he's probably like 150 away. And I've only seen one game of his this year, but it just seems like he's moving incredible for such a big guy. And if he can stay healthy, I just don't see him not breaking it. And just like him scoring on, we played the year that I played with him, he was sitting on 47 goals, and
you get the hat trick in St. Louis, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and somebody came, I forget who it was, came up to me before the game, and they said, like, watch, I bet you Ovi gets 3 tonight to get 50. And I was like, I don't know if he won a few games, or I'm not sure what happened before that, but I was kind of like 3 goals. Like, St. Louis was good, like kind of a defensive team too. And I'm like, 3 seems like a lot, but okay. Went out, and I think he had it by like second period. Like, it was just like an automatic, I want to score 3 tonight. So he went out, scored 3, got 50, and that was that. So
I think Brett Hall was sitting on the glass too. I think Holly was sitting on the glass
drinking Coda Go,
and like they were like winking at each other too. So I mean, like, and Holly loves Ovi too, man.
I like to see those two party together. Hey, isn't it weird though, Mikey? Like, you want a guy like Ovi to break records. Like, he's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
He'll bury you with a hit. He'll knock you out with like, he'll do anything. He's just a cool cat. Like, you want him. If anybody's going to break any big records, you want Ovi to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And he's been like, we came in the league together, which is crazy, but he's never been that guy who is always making it about himself, or a guy who's like showing up the opponent or being too cocky or doesn't have time for this, that, or the other thing. Like, he's always, since him and Sid came in the league, they have been incredible for hockey, really. And I think just with the work that he's put in and how he's handled himself and what he's done, I think he deserves to win or to break the record. And I hope he does it.
The Cam Strick Podcast is brought to you by Bellman and Bellman.com. BEHLMANN.com. Get out there to Detroit, Missouri. Check it out. On one side, you got the Buick, the GMC, options for everybody. Then right across the street, you got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Again, find something that works for you and get yourself a new set of wheels in time for the winter. Now, back to the interview. All right, so you came in 2003, that was the year you were drafted. Like one of the best drafts in the history of the NHL. You just look at that draft class in 2003, it's just unbelievable. But you come into the league, and like you seem like a real laid-back guy, whatever. You're chilling on the farm, your wife's on the Unicorn, you're in Kenora, and then you go to Philadelphia, like super intense, like in-your-face market. Was that a good fit right off the bat? Like, were you a little like, or you're like, okay, how's this going to go? Or did you like, playing in Philly in front of those crazy, passionate fans?
Yeah, I did. It was awesome, actually. I think I'm more laid back now than I was back then. Like, I was, I had a bad temper, pretty intense, I guess you'll say. So it was kind of like a match, and just the way that I played, like in Philly, or if you look at the history of the Flyers, it's guys that play hard, guys that were a little mean, and just based off of junior, like I scored, I fought, I hit, I kind of done pretty much everything. So I think it was a pretty good match, and they accepted me right away. And I didn't know a ton about Philly, but I played for the AHL team in 2004, 2005. So just the playoffs of that season. And we were selling out the Wachovia Center, which for the AHL playoffs. And right from there, you just kind of knew it was like a crazy hockey town. And they really embraced, like Jeff Carter and I came at the same time, and they really embraced us. So it was awesome. We had a pretty good team. I think we signed Peter Forsberg that summer before my first year. And like, Peter was my favorite player growing up, so I was like beyond pumped to get to camp and get it all started.
Hey, good thing you didn't play in that 2004 lockout year, because it was fucking crazy. Good thing you just played in the playoffs with that badass team. I mean, that fucking fuck that. It would have slowed you. Something would have. You would have had to fight every. It just was crazy, man. But speaking of Peter Forsberg, though, like, did you talk to him? Like how was he in practice? Was he cool to people? Like, he kind of just fell off a little bit, Andy. We're trying to get his ass on, but I think he's over in Sweden or Finland or where he's at. But how was he as a person?
Yeah. Finland.
Well, whatever.
He was awesome. He was another guy. Like I was pretty much everything I said about Ovi, about like making sure everyone was comfortable, everyone was like included. He was that guy, and he just had this like aura about him that. Anytime he walked in the room, you just kind of like felt it, but he was soft-spoken and just wanted to win. And he was awesome, especially like for me as a 21-year-old rookie, just kind of getting used to the NHL. He just made sure like every night what you're doing for dinner is making sure you're getting out, making sure you're included in everything. Was just awesome, and to have like your childhood idol kind of not take you under the wing, but just like kind of taking you and making sure that you're comfortable and everything's good for the first month, 2 months was pretty awesome. And on the ice, it was unfortunate kind of how his latter stage of his time in Philadelphia went, just because he got hurt and he has his foot issues. But like when he was healthy and he was playing, he was incredible to watch. Like there was just times where you're sitting on the bench watching the game, ready to go out on the ice, that he would do something and you would just like, you couldn't help but say like, oh my God, to yourself while you're trying to watch the game and look to see what's going on. And he would do something and you were just like, and actually I don't know if you guys remember, this is like on every highlight reel, or I guess low light reel, but Antero Niittymaki was our goaltender, and we were playing Pittsburgh, and Forsberg did something unbelievable, and they were showing it on the Jumbotron, and they ended up dropping the puck while this was going on, and Max Talbot shot it from the far blue line, and Nitty was just looking up at the big screen. It ended up going through his legs, and he scored from the other side just off a muffin shot off a face-off. And everyone after the game was like, well, what were you doing? He was like, man, I was watching Forsberg move on the big
replay.
Yeah, and it was literally like you just couldn't help, but he would do something like that pretty much every game that he played and that he was healthy, that you were just in awe about having to rewatch it or kind of take back a step when you're on the bench watching.
Yeah, no, he's crazy. He was incredible. I mean, one of the greatest players for sure, obviously, that's ever played. Like when he's on top of his game, there was nobody better, really. Hits. Oh, he would crush guys.
Man.
But like, real quick though, talk about like how hard it was though for him, because a lot of people remember him going through the injuries and just kind of the decline because he couldn't stay healthy and he was trying to play and he wasn't 100%, and it was obvious that he was less than 100%. Like, how much did this guy have to grind through it just to get out there and play?
Yeah. Well, I just remember, like, for the longest time, nobody really had, knew what was wrong with him, because he was just having these ankle issues, and it's kind of hard to explain over the phone, but kind of how the trainer broke it down to me was, instead of, like, your leg or foot going straight down, he just had a little bit of a kind of bend in it right at the ankle, and he just couldn't get the skates to fit right. And I don't know if this is true, but how it was kind of described to me was like having constant lace bite, where you just couldn't get anything like comfortable on your foot. And obviously a lot worse than, lace bite or anything, but anyone who has played hockey who's had that knows that it's just always nagging. It doesn't matter what you do, you just always feel that. So that's how it was kind of described to me with that, but even worse. So just to see the frustration on him, because I know that second year we really didn't get off to a good start, and everything kind of just crumbled around, and you could just see how frustrated he was that he wasn't 100%, but he always wanted to play. So I forget the number, but I remember him going through like 100 and some odd pairs of skates in the first month or 2 months, just to try to see if he can get something to fit his ankle, to make sure that he wasn't feeling this pain. So I don't want to speak out of school or out of turn or anything, but that's just kind of how it was described to me, and just seeing how frustrated he was with it. Which I could imagine, and like going from the best in the world and pretty much doing whatever you want on the ice to having this nagging injury where you could just never feel comfortable or confident. I could just see that being one of the biggest nightmares, frustrations for a hockey player.
It's the worst, man. Even like you think of lace bite, you're like, whatever. But if you really play, like I remember going through a phase where I had to put like this bubble down there and then padding every damn time. And if you look at Forsberg, like the way he's on his skates, man, like he's just like on his edges and he braces himself, like every fucking movement just bites you all damn game. Explain that to people.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And he, like, when he was at his best, he would, like, it was incredible how quick he can stop, like, on a dime and go the other way. And that's kind of just what gave him so much space. Like, everybody was so scared that he would stop and turn out, because he could literally stop on a dime and go the other direction. And, like, to not have that skill, I think, probably just frustrated him because he didn't have the time that he usually had. But I used to go tongues out too. Yeah. And I had lace bite one time where I would literally, like, almost be crying to put my skate on, like, because there's nothing you can do. Like, you can put foam, you can put padding, you can I remember one time in playoffs, I actually, like, froze my ankle because I couldn't even walk because of the skate bite. It was just, like, got to a point where it was that bad and that painful. So to have that literally, like, almost every time, and I don't know, like I said, that's all secondhand information, but I could just sense the frustration that he was going through, just kind of watching him. And then just hearing that, I was just like, oh yeah, that's it. That would be frustrating.
Hey, listen, just like, Taves and Kane and Crosby and Malcolm, man. I mean, for a long time, it was always Richards and Carter. Like, in Philadelphia, you guys were always like the dual threat, the twosome there in Philadelphia. Like, what was your guys' relationship off the ice? Were you guys super, super tight, really close? Are you still close to this day? Like, break that friendship down.
Yeah, no, we were close. I think he got drafted 11th. I was 24th, so we were both kind of going to Philly as first rounders, and we knew each other from World Juniors. Actually, pretty much all the way up. I think under 17, under 18, two World Juniors. We both played for the Philadelphia Phantoms in the AHL that one playoff run. So we literally just did everything together, and we had a great relationship. We lived in the same building. When LA traded for him, he lived at my house when I was there. So we were really close pretty much our whole careers. We followed each other around. And I think it's a lot better when you are going through something together, like when you're sharing an experience with somebody. I think it just makes you that much closer too. So the pressures of being in Philadelphia, and then the craziness about being traded on, like, the same day within, like, a half hour from Philly, two different spots, and then ended up being together and then winning a cup. It was actually, when you look back at it, which I actually haven't really done, but like, it's just crazy. Like, we lost in the gold medal game World Juniors together in Finland, won World Juniors together the next year, won the AHL championship with Philly the following year, or the same year from that, actually. Played our first game together, got traded together.
Should have married each other.
Back, won the first cup together, won the second cup together. Like, it's honestly crazy, actually, now that you kind of ask and you put it together. So, yeah, we're I don't talk to him much anymore, just with, I don't know if you, not playing, not being, I don't make it out to LA very often, but when I was out there last, I saw him. So, but
well, just so you know, he's in Pittsburgh now. I want to let you know he's in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, no,
you got a good cowgirl with you, though. Man. You didn't lose.
Don't be sending presents to his LA address. He's not there anymore. You're not watching. You're not watching much hockey. No, but it's awesome, man. I love the fact that you guys were so linked up. All right, you mentioned the trade a half hour away from each other. So, are you guys on the phone? Are the rumors like swirling? And then are you calling Jeff and being like, "Yo, I just got traded"? Then he's calling you back and being like, "I just got traded," and you're like, "Where are you going?" You got to go to LA.
We can't separate.
He had to go to Columbus, man, which didn't last long. But what was that day like?
Yeah, no, it was crazy. It was like first thing in the morning. So I talked to him the night before and just about all the rumors, and because there was a lot, really, pretty much right from the end of the season, there was a lot. And we had a meeting with the GM of Philly at the end of that year, and he said, no, you guys aren't going to be traded or whatever. And so everything was all good. And then by the draft, things started, you started hearing a lot more. And even if you're not, paying attention to it, you hear it. It's impossible not to. So that morning, actually the night before, my agent called me and said there's a possibility, this is what's going on. So I didn't even really think anything of it. And then the next morning he called me, my agent called me and said, I think you're going to be traded. So then I got off the phone, he called right back, you've been traded to LA. So I called Carts right after and I was like, hey, but I don't think you're going to be traded. And then, because it was a salary cap thing, for those who don't know, it was salary cap and you needed a goalie. So both of our contracts were a little over $5 million. So I called him and I was like, I don't think you're going to be traded. He's like, oh, why is that? I'm like, because I just got traded to LA. So then it was kind of a shock to him. And so whatever, I'm like, I got to go. I got to, talk to some people or whatever. And then literally I don't know, it felt right away, but it was probably a half hour after he called me and he was like, oh, I just got traded to Columbus. And then, so whatever, we'd go through that. And then I played in Columbus earlier in the year, I think, and saw him. He's like, this is Columbus, which I don't think it's any secret that he didn't enjoy very much. And then I think the real kind of kicker was he came out we played him a week later in LA, and he came over and we were walking down the Strand by the beach to get dinner, and he's like, how the hell does this work out? I was like, what? He's like, I'm out in Columbus right now freezing my ass off and you're walking to the beach, down the beach for dinner. I'm like, yeah, it sucks. Sorry about that. And then I think it was later that year, by the trade deadline, that Dean Lombardi called me and was like, what do you think of Cart? And I was like, well, you know how I feel about him, whatever. And then, within a day he was traded to LA. So the whole thing was pretty crazy, just how, I don't know, everything happened. And then to win with them later on that year, it was just
oh my God, the poor Philly fans. They're like, oh my God, there's Richards and Carter.
There they go.
We needed Brizgalov. That's what they needed. They traded you guys so they could sign Brizgalov.
Oh, God.
We had him on here. Yeah. What was he like?
He likes aliens.
Yeah. I didn't know. I just used to talk to guys from Philly after, whether it was trainers, players and stuff like that, and I would ask how's the goalie doing, and he's like, well, he's an interesting guy. I was like, yeah. But that year Philly was really good too. And Hartz and I were just because we didn't want to play Philly in the playoffs, not so much because of the team, but just having to go back and, it would have been in the finals if we played them. And I think they beat Pitt. I think it was their first round. And, just watching hockey, we kind of felt like they had the best team. We're I guarantee you we're going to play Philly in the finals. And we were just kind of dreading it. And I think it turned out Jersey beat them. I think you guys beat them, didn't you?
Yeah. Cam scored the game winner in double overtime.
No, I wasn't on the Black Aces. I just skated with the Black Aces.
Like
a good soldier.
You're still there.
Oh, yeah.
But so it was just, and then once we won, it was just kind of icing on the cake. And we went to each other after, and I'm like, it doesn't, like, if you get the cup first, you give it to me. If I get it, I'm looking for you. So we made sure to give it to each other.
That's so cute.
I love it, man.
That is so cute.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so funny. He's like, yeah, I'm in Columbus. Hi, I'm in Delaware.
This is Columbus.
Remember Wayne's World? He's like, I'm in Delaware.
Yeah. This is Columbus.
Fucking walking on a beach, dude. Get out of here with that shit. Who we just have? Oh, we had a couple guys on.
Yeah, no. Hey, but listen. Oh, we had Zegers talking about that young kid. He's in Anaheim right now. Same thing on the beach, whatever. So, all right. So you were feuding with the media there, though, in Philadelphia. Like, what was that all about? Because they're like accusing you guys of partying and all this type of stuff. Like, what's true and what wasn't true?
Well, the partying was probably true. To be honest, I don't think it was as bad. I mean, just like anything, like whatever is talked about isn't as bad as it's kind of portrayed, especially in Philly. I think just because there's so many media members, like there's a lot of like beat guys for, one team. Like when I was in LA, we had one kind of beat reporter. And then there was like a few other people like with the Times and stuff that would cover the team, but not like a daily thing. Whereas in Philly, there was like 5, 6, 7 guys, that were there every single day. So it was kind of like, there was some pressure to get different stories sort of thing. So, it was always tough. And especially like as the captain, you always, like I talked to the media every single day. So I think that was also something that just kind of like wears on you. It doesn't matter if you're winning, losing, or just like every single day and every single time somebody's looking for either a different story, a different take on something. So I think at some points it probably just got annoying, frustrating, whatever you want to call it. But the thing I remember kind of that started it all was like we were on like a 10-game winning streak, and like that's when they decided to run the story about us like going out too much. And it was just like I get it if we're losing 10 in a row and you're looking for excuses why, but like to kind of float that story when we're on a 10-game winning streak just kind of seemed like you're just looking for some negativity. So I told him if you guys run it, because Frank Saravelli, who is actually doing really well now too, was a guy that was one of the beat guys, but him and I always had a good relationship, and I've always thought he was very fair. He would kind of chirp us some days, but some days we deserved it, where he just wasn't looking for negative stories. And he kind of brought it up to me, and I went to them and kind of told them, like, if you run this story right now, I'm not going to talk to you. And of course, as the NHL, you have to talk to the media, but you don't have to. You have to talk to them, but you don't have to like say anything. So I was just giving them one-word answers, but that's kind of how it all started. But like I said, everything. I look back on that now, and I actually kind of think it was pretty childish of me. But at the same time, when you're talking to them every day, and probably being a little bit frustrated with them on a daily basis for some things, I think that's probably why it got as much play as it did. But at the same time, I probably could have handled it better. They probably could have handled it better, but it is what it is. And then, for the most part, not to just keep rambling here, but I thought I actually had a pretty good relationship with a lot of them. It was just, like I said, some of them were competitive and just wanted a different story than just the hockey stuff. So I think that's where it kind of came from.
Well, look, Marshawn Lynch did the same shit, and everybody loves him still. Remember what he go?
Yeah, like, exactly.
I'm here so I don't get fucking fined.
Yeah, I just needed some Skittles or something, and everybody would have loved me.
But so like, what do they? So they're like, okay, you're winning 10 games in a row. And the guys are going out, I guess. But how the fuck do they know that? Do they see you at the bar? Are they like, well, Richie was out drinking wine again? Like, well, how do they know?
Yeah, I'm not even really sure how they found out. I mean, Philly is a big area, but it's actually a small city, so I'm not surprised. Like, we always we were pretty predictable on where we went, so I'm guessing. I don't even think we were going out. It was more just we were all single guys living downtown. So after the game, we, instead of just going to your house and sitting there, we'd go for a bite to eat and have a beer and then go home. And they kind of took that as going out, which I'm sure there was some days that we were going out, but we weren't going out the night before games. We weren't, stuff like that, where if it was before a game, it would literally be go out for dinner, maybe watch, if there's a baseball game, a football game, watch the tail end of that somewhere and then go home. So I think that also got kind of blown out of proportion, but I have no idea how they know. It's not like we were sitting with them, seeing them, but it is not surprising that they do know, because the actual downtown area is actually pretty small. So kind of word gets around pretty quick there.
I think that happens with every team. I mean, shit, we were crazy here. Fuck, we were waterboarding each other with booze. I mean, it didn't get out, I guess. But I know we're you're gonna fucking write a story because I don't know. That to me is very bizarre. But let me get to something. You signed a 12-year fucking contract, 12-year deal. Are you fuck yeah? Describe that feeling. So was it 67 schmil?
69.
69. You're fuck. Were you just I'm on the fucking high horse, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, that was crazy. My parents were in town for that, and I guess the initial negotiations with my agent and the Flyers, it wasn't a month or anything. It was probably a 2-week thing. So at first I really didn't say anything, just because I've never been through that before. So I didn't really know what, kind of how it worked or how long it took, or, if it was going to happen, or, if you start talking and then can't figure anything out, you put it on the back burner or whatever. So I didn't really say anything to anyone, not even my parents. And then kind of right near the, final goal line of the contract, I told my parents, and, they were just my mom was just jaw drop. When I told her 12 years, 69 million, or in that range. And it was actually crazy because there was 3 different deals, and I can't remember the exact number, but one was 8 years for just over 6 a year or something. Then there was a 12 for 5.75, and then there was a 15 or 16 year deal for just over 5. So there's 3 different ones, and then I obviously ended on the 12. But it was just crazy. It didn't even set in, to be honest with you, until I took the team out for dinner, a team dinner. It was in Buffalo at that Chop House, so a decent restaurant or whatever. But I bought the team dinner, but then I had to pay for it. And at the time, I'm still new to the league somewhat. I haven't gotten anything, so I had to you the dinner out over 3 credit cards and pay cash some. Yeah. And I remember Mike Knubel coming up and being are you all right? Do you need anything? I'm no, I think I got it here. Yeah. And then after that, it kind of settled it, kind of hit you that what you're paying for dinner, and spreading out over 3 cards at the end of the day wasn't that much compared to what you were going to be making. And I think that's kind of when it really hit.
How much was that dinner? $5 grand?
It was only $6-7 grand. It wasn't crazy, but it was expensive for a guy that
for Buffalo,
2 years ago,
Buffalo. That's a lot of fucking
a week in junior.
No shit.
Who goes and spends? Only you go to Buffalo to spend $6,000 on a dinner.
I want that 16-year contract.
I know.
Yeah.
Give me that mug.
Hey man, you get to LA though, and we won't keep you much longer, man. But this is where, like, obviously, things end like great, man. I mean, you win a couple of cups, and this is in addition to winning World Juniors and Memorial Cup and everything else. I mean, Olympic gold medal.
God,
Jesus,
Mikey,
I mean, Calder Cup. I mean,
Jesus.
Where do you have all your trophies displayed? Are they like in the living room there in Kenora? Like, as you're looking out into the farm? Like, what can I paint the picture for us?
Yeah, actually, right where I'm sitting, I got the little TV stand sort of thing, and it's got two Stanley Cup mini trophies, two. What is this called here? The Clarence S. Campbell Bowl.
You don't even know. You have so many trophies, you don't even know.
Gets confusing.
Yeah, it's the Eastern Conference one, the Prince of Wales one, and then there's the President's Trophy that I won when I didn't really do anything for it. Washington won. I just got the trophy because I was only there half a year. But yeah, I've been pretty lucky. That first Cup in LA, not even like close, was by far the best. It was just, I don't know, like with everything that happened with Billy, and then obviously your lifelong dream and everything else was, awesome. But I mean, Stanley Cup is really the thing that you dream about, the thing that you want. And I just remember, like, even after, like, we won, we were up 6-1 in the third period, so we knew we were going to win, and we're celebrating and everything. And then literally, like, right when was it Joe Pritchett and then another gentleman brings the cup on the ice, it doesn't hit you until you see that, like, till you see them coming on the ice with the Stanley Cup. And that's kind of like, I just remember celebrating, like hugging everybody, and then literally just like frozen in my tracks in like awe of this thing coming on the ice. So that was by far the most special.
When you were partying in LA though, like, after winning the cup and shit, were you like going to nice restaurants, nice bars, and just dime pieces everywhere? And are they like, what are you guys? Are you hockey players? I mean, like, was it like,
well,
what was that?
You play for the Lakers?
Like, I got money, girl, just so you know. Okay. 12-year fucking
12-year in my pocket.
So you know, girl.
Yeah, it's, to be honest, like, obviously we brought the cup everywhere, but it is unbelievable. It doesn't matter where you are, who it is. Every person knows what the cup is.
Oh, yeah.
Like, even like we were obviously everyone in LA, we went to Vegas and we were walking through the hotel with it. And like, you can just see like everybody like pointing, like, people would come up and like, kind of like barely speak English, and they're like, Stanley Cup. And you're like, yeah. Like, so like, people that wouldn't even, I'm guessing, not even know hockey, just like would gravitate and know what the cup was. It was actually pretty cool and pretty crazy just to see the significance of that trophy and how crazy it is that thing has literally seen some stuff.
Yeah, Andy, the best part is when the girls don't speak English. They come over and
hey, but Mike, you guys had the coolest team though. Like Jared Stoll, who's been on with us, awesome. Even Matt Green. I mean, you can go on Justin Williams and go on, to go along with Doughty and all the stars and whatever. Man, you guys had a cool ass team. What'd you think of Darryl though? You get along with Darryl Sutter?
Darryl.
Yeah, so I did get along with him. He was definitely tough. He just is insanely intense. And I think if you can just take him for, like when he first came in and kind of started getting more comfortable, and then he started being more, I guess, kind of like himself, I think was just kind of like a huge shock to everybody of like how some of his tactics are and how like crazy intense he is and how just, you know, certain things that I think you're not used to seeing or hearing, I guess. I think that first year was more of just like, what the hell is he talking about? Or what, you know, what the hell is he doing? So I actually remember having like a few team meetings, just strictly like a players only meeting about the coach, not even like about how we're playing and just like how we can handle this and kind of get through it and stuff like that. But once you realize kind of what he's doing and just take it as like him pushing you instead of like seeing what he's saying and seeing what he's doing. Because everybody's heard Darryl Sutter stories. Like, you're not in hockey without hearing at least a few. But just taking that for him trying to push you and motivate you rather than just seeing him, you know, shoot pucks at the assistant coaches or stuff and like take it as like he's just frustrated, he's just intense, stuff like that. But once we did that and just kind of took it for what it was, I think that's kind of when we started not paying attention to him, but not like giving the attention to what he was doing instead of like what he was trying to do. You know what I mean?
What's he shooting pucks at Davis Payne or what? Like just fucking
Payne dog? The Subaru?
Yeah, I think everybody. Just everybody. Billy Ranford.
Oh
like,
my God.
The one day I think Billy was sitting with his during a meeting. He was just like sitting with his hands in his pocket, leaning against the wall. And Darryl just ripped him for having his hands in his pocket. And then from then on, everybody, you know, the old, what is it, Talladega Nights, like, I don't know what to do with my hands, or Anchorman, I don't know what to do with my hands sort of thing. And then that was kind of, you know, like if you can get past that and just like kind of make light of it, it brings the team closer together. And then that just becomes a joke for the next week until something else happens. But there's definitely some interesting, could actually probably been on the phone with you for whatever, an hour talking just stories about stuff like that. But
yeah.
He definitely knows what buttons to push to kind of piss you off to where you go on the ice being pissed off, and it actually, I don't know if it works or what, but you definitely go out there wanting to hit somebody and get some frustration out.
And then you guys lock him out of the locker room. You don't even let him in there, Mike.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like the LA type. Darryl.
Yeah.
Sorry, Darryl, you can't come in.
Hey, Darryl.
You can't come in. Yeah, there was that. There was the worst was always just like whenever we played Calgary, that was like he just wanted to, I guess, beat him so bad. So he would always just be like right from morning skate, right from every, like literally, like there was one time we off the face-off, opening face-off, dropped the puck, and it was just like a crappy offside, like 3 seconds in, and he's like changing the lines.
Oh,
like,
that's the fucking worst.
And you're just like, you're just like, really? Like in that 3 seconds, whoever got taken off wasn't doing what he should have been doing, or what's going on here?
Was that you?
So
was that you, Mike? Was that you?
No, it was. I think it was Brownie. I think like Dustin Brown took kind of the. I don't know, brunt of it for the first, like, I don't know, 2-3 months. And then he always just kind of seemed to, like, move it around.
Probably took the C off his jersey if you're going offside.
Yeah, he wanted to.
Dustin, we got to take the C off for that?
Yeah, one time in the meeting, we were, like, his first year there, we were struggling. And we were having, like, I don't know, like your leadership group meeting, where you have like 8 guys who are kind of like the older guys on the team. Mm-hmm. And he was rambling about something, and then he just like blurted out, he's like, I'm not sure why the coach that comes in can't pick their own captain, but I guess you're stuck with it. Or something to Brownie, and we're just like, what?
Jesus,
like, just like, yeah, just like subtle things like that, like shooting. I think it was Jamie Compound, the guy. He's the assistant coach for Winnipeg now. He's shooting pucks at one practice, and then Billy Ranford. The video coaches were just like terrified that something wouldn't work.
Oh my God.
Everyone was just on edge. Like,
we know Jamie, like really, he's like the nicest, nicest guy in the world. And he's like shooting pucks, a poor Jamie Compon, who left there after the first cup, by the way, and then went and won another cup in Chicago.
Awesome guy.
So,
and then, but to be like, he would do all this stuff. And then like the 1 year I was like, after the year, just, was kind of like, I guess, having like a little bit of a tough time not at the rink. And he like called me, he's like, come down to the beach, I'll grab coffees or whatever. So I actually thought it was all about hockey, and we didn't even talk about hockey, just like was making sure everything was good and this and that. So like, as much as like he pushes people's buttons at the rink, and as much as you want to like slash him in the head half of the year, like you could tell he does like care about his players, and he wants everybody to do well. So to kind of say what you're saying, he is like, he's a little crazy when it comes to hockey, but at the same time, he does want what's best for the players, and he wants to make sure everybo's good. So like I was saying before, as long as you kind of take everything for what it is and not like try to, I don't know, overthink it where you're just kind of separate the two. He would definitely like talk to your wife, girlfriend, make sure everything's good. I know the trainers, I'm pretty sure he took care of really well. If somebody needed something, he was always there for us. So as much as he's a psycho for hockey, he's definitely wants what's best for everybody.
Yeah, he's not a terrible person.
And
I like
treat
hearing
the trainers
that.
like shit, you're a fucking dick.
So how, listen, because your career, listen, it kind of like ended abruptly, whatever. Like, I mean, you were on such a high, playing at such a high level. And I mean, I know there's not much, that you want to say, whatever. What can you say, though, about how it ended in LA? Like, what can you share with us about that?
Yeah, to be honest, I think just kind of leading up to that 2014 season, just with concussions and injuries and stuff like that, my game slipped off. I just think I lost a little bit of love for hockey at that time, and came into that 1 year just not doing, I don't know, I was always the type of player that kind of had to put in all the work, because I as well as I kind of did most years, I had to work for it. Like nothing, I wasn't like a natural goal scorer. I wasn't like like incredible hands. I always had to work for everything. And then the 1 year, I just kind of lost that kind of passion for hockey, and it kind of really kind of crept into the game and wasn't playing very well. And then next thing you know, was being talked about being traded, and everything kind of just snowballed. And then obviously what happened at the end, which I really don't blame anyone but myself anyways. So it is what it is. I just look back on that time in my life as a positive, to be honest. It's I had 4 incredible years in LA. We won 2 cups. Still have a lot of good friends there. So obviously not the way I wanted to end it with everything happening, but at the same time, 2 cups later, I'm not really complaining. So you live and learn, you make some mistakes. It is what it is. I think the way I left was kind of something that built from probably 2 years in the making of kind of just losing that passion for hockey, which really took away my drive to do what I needed to do to have success on the ice, with working out, with going to the rink, excited to work instead of just going to rink as a job. And I think when you do that, I think the passion kind of just left me. And when a player like me, who plays with a lot of passion, who has to be, the hardest working guy on the ice if I'm not just a very average player. So then all the trade talks happen. Next thing you know, you're on the fourth line, and then what happened. And next thing you know, you're in Washington or sitting out waiting for the next team to call you. But I can't really say exactly what happened, as you guys know. But I don't look back on my time in LA as negative. I won 2 cups with a great team and made a lot of friendships, and obviously have regrets about everything. But at the same time, take full responsibility for it, and was excited to get a chance to move on and play with Washington.
Yeah, dude, you're all good, man. Like, look, I do got to ask you, though, because I went through fucking hell and back with those goddamn painkillers, man. Like I did. I got addicted like you cannot fucking believe. Almost lost my life, for one, my family, my wife, everything with it. Were you addicted to those? I mean, because does that have something to do with how you lost interest? Because it just...
We had a lot of guys who battled it.
We got a ton of guys, Andy.
Well,
fuck, we keep our DMs open. They talk to us about abuse and shit like that. So I was just wondering, were you addicted to it?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the passion got lost when, I don't know. I just like it wasn't fun to go to the rink, and that had nothing to do with substances or anything like that. It was just kind of a fact of not really enjoying it as much. And then, that stuff's crazy, addictive. Obviously, I've had, more than a few surgeries and injuries and stuff like that. And I think what's crazy about hockey, and actually I heard was it Robin Leonard said something a few weeks ago about like the trainers giving them out. I'm actually the opposite. I actually think it turned when they stopped doing it, just because like for Ambiens, for instance, like I was a guy who hated taking Ambien, but sometimes after games where they have like, if I had a Red Bull, I would never be able to sleep. So I always knew that, and then I would ask for an Ambien. But then when they changed that, you had to have a prescription from the doctor. Like the doctor wouldn't give you one Ambien; he would give you 20. So luckily for Ambien, for my sake, I kind of knew that I couldn't have them in the house, because instead of like getting up to read when I couldn't sleep, I would always just be like, oh, I got Ambien, I might as well just go to sleep that way. Yep. So just based off of that, of what I saw that he wrote, I actually thought that was the opposite. Like what I ended up having to do was get the prescription, give it to the trainer. So I had to ask for some so he can kind of keep an eye on what was going on too. But I'm not sure what the best way is. Like, it's a slippery slope for everything. To be honest, Ambiens, painkillers, pretty much everything that you need a doctor's prescription for, that kind of helps. But, to go through hockey without injuries is just not going to happen. I just think the more eyes you have on whether it's getting something from the trainer so he can keep an eye on things. I think when you just leave it up to the player, like I was saying with the Ambien, you have to know what type of personality you have. And my personality is an addictive personality, so I knew I couldn't have Ambiens or anything in the house. So I just think the more eyes you have on a situation like that, I think the better. So I know I did kind of dodged your question, but
it's all good, homeboy. I get it.
Just excuse me, the stuff like that just has to be monitored. Let's just kind of leave her at that.
Yeah.
But it is crazy, especially nowadays with the amount of like fake things that are out there. It's honestly scary, and the NHL is a small tight-knit group. And I think anytime anybody could ask for help or get help or needs help, I know there's programs in place, but there's also different players around the league that would be more than willing, I think, to talk to different people about it. And if if anyone's listening and needs help or any sort of advice, direction with painkillers, because like you said, they're insanely addictive, insanely scary, and if anybody needs help or is worried about somebody, I know the NHL community is pretty awesome. If it's not doctors, it could be players. It's not even the NHL, really. Like you guys are saying, it's everybody. But I'm rambling now.
No, you're good.
Sorry about that. I'm kind of dodging the question a little bit, but
right,
I just think, it is a problem right now everywhere, and it's pretty scary.
Yeah, and we've had a lot of players on, man, who've been open about their situation and whatever. So, listen, we appreciate with what you said. I think it's a good message for a lot of people out there to hear, man, for sure. So, last thing for you, man, because again, when you were a young captain, I mean, you were in that group with Crosby and Taves, some of the best young leaders in the game, man. I mean, you really were. You just look at your pedigree, your history, your resume, everything. You make the 2010 Canada Olympic team, which was an unbelievable honor. So how do you reflect on everything? And do you see yourself ever getting back into the game, Mike? Like, could you ever do that? Or are you just going to chill on that farm of yours there in Kenora?
Yeah. On that boat?
I've had some job offers, but I'm just not ready yet to get back in the league, to be honest with you. It kind of goes back to what I was saying at the beginning of the interview with just starting to watch hockey more. When I first, I guess, I'm not even retired right now, so I could technically just come back and play if somebody needs a bum on their team who plays men's league. But no, I don't know if I'm going to get back in the game. I think the more I start watching it, I think maybe I can get that passion back. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of hockey. It's a lot of time away. I know, just speaking with different friends who are scouts or different friends who work for different teams, it's not something that I think if I was to do that I would just kind of, show up at the rink here and there and do something or, something along those lines. I think if I did want to get back into it, it would have to be all in. Because like I was saying before, I'm competitive. So if it's something that I want to do, it would be something that I would definitely want to put all I have into it instead of just kind of showing up to the rink a few days a week and have a cup of coffee. It would be something that I think I would enjoy doing at some point. I just don't know when that would be.
Fuck it. Be a cowboy, dude. Who gives a shit?
I know,
you don't need to fucking do anything.
No.
Go fucking chill.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy because, to be honest, when I first got away from the game, I didn't watch, any hockey. I just have, like I said, hockey fatigue where when you play, you're just watching video. You're watching, your team do well. You watch other teams that you're going to play. You watch playoffs. And I don't know. I couldn't even playoffs. I was just kind of peeking in every now and again. But now I actually enjoy watching. I could watch Austin Matthews play any day just because of how sick he is. Anytime I see Connor McDavid on or Leon Draisaitl in Edmonton, I'll turn that game on too. So, but like I was saying, talking to different people that are scouts, the amount of time that they go on the road, I think it's just something that you have to really commit to rather than.
You ain't going. No, you're not backstepping.
Those guys didn't. Those guys didn't have 12-year contracts.
No shit. Grind.
Yeah. So you're in a different spot for sure, man. So hey, have you ever talked to Dean Lombardi since you left LA? How are things between you two?
No, I haven't talked to him yet. No.
Okay.
I know he works in Philly, so one of my best friends used to be the trainer there. He's not anymore, but I'd always kind of hear what's going on through him. So we haven't actually talked, but at the same time, I think everyone kind of knows. I don't know. I'm not great with replying to messages either, so I don't know if he called.
Unless
or
she's
not.
good looking.
Hey, you got back to me, Mike. You got back to me, Mike.
Yeah.
Well, and he's a good looking guy.
But I don't know. I mean, I also don't talk to really, like, it's actually funny because I did have a good relationship with, like, Paul Holmgren in Philly. He traded me, and then I saw him, talk to him a little bit after that. So I don't hold any grudges or anything. I'm not in hockey, so it's.
Yeah. Does Pronger call you? Is Prongs reaching out to you?
He ain't reaching out to you.
No. But even that, like, I have no issue with Prongs either. Like that also got blown up out of kind of proportion there too. So it's just funny how like I don't know how he feels, but if I saw him in town, like I'd have no issue with sitting down with him for lunch or something.
Either would he, man.
So.
Either would
he hates everybody.
Yeah.
It's all good.
No, he doesn't. Either would he,
like,
man.
He'd
love to hang out.
Yeah, he's cool, man.
Yeah, I've never really understood that because that was a narrative in Philly when I was there, and I don't know if it was pushed by the media or anything like that him and I didn't get along. But in all honesty, like I don't. Off the top of my head, I can't think of one player that I've played with that I didn't have a relationship with or that I disliked or anything like that. I was pretty lucky where everybody. Yeah. I've been on pretty good teams, and you mentioned LA before, but you know every team that I've been on, even the teams in Philly, like we had such a close knit group. There was never any one person that was like an outcast or that I didn't get along with. I've never had that with anyone, and I think that's like hockey players in general too, where everyone's just kind of relaxed, and every once in a while you get a guy who may be a little bit cocky or anything, but I think for the most part, everybody that I've played with in hockey has always been pretty awesome.
All right, man. Hey, congrats on a great. I mean that. I don't know when you're going to retire. So you never know. I mean, if you're just like waiting, holding out for maybe a chance to come back or what. But listen,
yeah, you never know. I mean, I play goal on Thursday nights.
That's stupid talk right there. So that's just stupid right there.
I see all these teams need like emergency goalies.
That's hilarious.
So maybe I just won't retire yet in case somebody needs an emergency
you
goalie.
Play
and
goalie?
I step in,
You're fucking crazy, dude.
You're crazy.
You're a cowboy, dude. Cowboys don't play goalie.
Get back on the farm. Get back on the farm in Kenora.
It's one or the other.
And listen, hey, but honestly, congrats on an unbelievable. You had a great career. I mean, you go throughout everything, man, from junior, international stuff.
Respect the shit out of you. Always did, man.
American League, NHL, everything. So, congrats on that. Know that you had a great career, man, and enjoy your life, man. It sounds like you are. So just be happy and enjoy your life.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, guys. This was fun.
All right, Richie.
Mike.
See you, buddy.
Take care. Hey, what's up, everybody? That interview was brought to you by Daredevil Hockey and daredevilhockey.com. Use that promo code today, Cam and Strick. It's going to save you 25%. All caps, Cam and Strick, Daredevil Hockey. Get yourself protected today. That was Mikey Richards right here on the Cam and Strick Podcast, brought to you by Hair Club. Got stories for days, man. We could have had him on for another 2 hours. How about Darryl Sutter? Like, how would you like to play for Darryl? Is that what you call him?
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I remember it was so weird. I was playing in St. Louis, and I hit Prust in a weird way, and I kind of elbowed him. Mm-hmm. And I'm walking out of the rink at Scott Trade Center underneath with a bunch of my family or whatever, and Darryl looks at me, who was coaching Calgary at the time.
Yeah.
Is it? If I'm correct me because we'll edit this thing.
No, he was. He was
okay in 2008, 9, and there's an elbow where I elbowed and broke Prusty's jaw. And Darryl came up to me and goes, "Come over here." And he goes, "Would you want to play on Calgary?" I go,
"What?"
Yeah, I swear to God. I go, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay." Never heard anything from him again, but I remember that. And I would never fucking say that on a podcast.
Is that tampering?
Oh, fuck. I don't know.
Well, we're leaving it in. Doesn't matter.
You think so? We should leave that in?
Dude, I heard, like,
I swear to God.
I don't want to name the player. I'll name it later. I don't
want to be like that, but I remember that. My family was right there.
I know a player who was just picked up on waivers who was like talking to the GM from the team that picked him up like before he even went on waivers.
Yeah, but why me? Who cares? Like what?
No, I know. So I'm saying it happens. It happens. But for him to say that,
we should probably take that out.
No,
but I swear to God,
it was years ago.
I know.
Would you want to play for Calgary? What if you were like,
yeah.
Fuck,
I said
no.
Yeah. I said yeah. Because why would I say no? I'm like, if you want, anybody wants me. I was never comfortable with anything. So it's like, but I was in St. Louis, man. Fucking,
Did you tell your agent that when you became a free agent?
It was Scott Norton. Yeah, I think I did tell him.
Well, I don't know. You have no recollection if you told him.
I probably partied hard that night. And I forgot about it. No, I remember that, dude. That you.
Well, I'm glad he said that to you, man. That's a compliment. There's something to be said for that.
After I heard, I don't know. Maybe.
So one day I was walking out with Darryl Sutter, true story, and I said,
"Want you to play for him too?"
No. But I did say to him, the Blues had just like made a bunch of trades, and they had nobody. They had like a bunch of like minor league guys playing in the game that night against Calgary, who was considered one of the top teams in the conference at the time. And I remember saying to Darryl, I'm like, well, you guys are going to blow St. Louis out tonight. And he said, no, don't say that. Don't ever say that. He's like, it doesn't ever work that way because they were loaded, like honestly dominating. And St. Louis had nobody in the lineup that night. They just traded a bunch of guys out, injuries, whatever the situation was, I forgot. And sure enough, St. Louis won the game that night.
I know. That's how it is. That's why hockey's crazy, man. Like if you have a shitty team in football and you have a bad quarterback, you're not winning.
You have zero chance.
You have zero chance. Basketball, maybe basketball's a little bit. Baseball, if you have a hard pitcher, like and you guys are gonna fucking smoke you if you're playing them. In hockey, an NHL team, honestly, on a bad day, could play a fucking fuck team in American League. That's average, and a goalie could just be ridiculous, and the guys don't even give a shit. And they were just like, and you just lose because the guys.
Well, Cam, what's the difference between a average to below average NHL goalie and like a good American League goalie?
I don't know, man.
Like
there's
not much.
There's a lot of goalie situations so bizarre. If you're a goalie, God, it's gonna suck sometimes. You get buried. Look at Scotty Wedgwood. I play with him in the minors. He's fucking going up there doing his thing. Like he's just like goalies just get kind of thrown to the side because there's only so many spots for you, and like you could be good. Look at fucking Benner. Look at Husso now. Like he's got 3 shutouts or he's.
Hey, I'll tell you this:
unbelievable. Like you just get
Billy Husso,
aside, man.
I know, because Billy Husso just a few years back, Jordan Binnington was his backup at the minors, right? And all of a sudden, like he gets hurt, the Blues call up Binnington because Chad Johnson got claimed off of waivers by Anaheim. The Blues needed a goalie. They call up Binnington, and then the rest is history. And it's like, well, here's Billy Husso being like, well, I'm good too.
Yeah, man.
And he was like, like borderline like phenom status. I mean, he played on a Finland team that won the World Junior Championships.
You could get
he was named the top goaltender in the best league in Finland with men as a 19-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like the real deal, dude. I remember him playing Billy Husso in preseason a few years back for St. Louis. Played some games against Washington, like big boy lineup, and he got a shutout. And I remember he had like 3 or 4 appearances in the preseason that year, and he didn't allow a single goal, like 0 goals against. And I'm like, and everybody was like, oh, this guy is going to be good. And then all of a sudden, Binnington obviously took over. But Billy Husso, man, do not sleep on this guy. Like, he's not just a guy that had a couple of good games. He really is good. But to my point about the American
League, enough about Billy, though, because this is it's not anybody.
No, but any goaltender, any professional goaltender at the American League level is capable of having a good game in the NHL. Now, I don't know if they can do it night in and night out, but they can have a good game.
East Coast level. Some nights,
for sure.
A fucking goalie could just stand on his goddamn head, and you just try shit, and guys just fucking, just like, no, we're gonna play such a perfect game. Although I'm not fast, I'm not gonna give you any ice. Still, like it's just hockey's so weird. You could how about the fucking 1980 Olympic team? That team.
Okay, but
Russian
we were talking about
this. So fucking good, and the boys just figured it out and said, "Fuck you."
The Russian team, they pulled their goalie, who's like the best goalie in the world, like maybe ever, like Tretiak, either after the first period or the second period.
Listen to me, and then I'm just telling you, like
it was like a 3-2 game or a 2-1 game, and they pulled the goalie. What's the name of the goal? What's the name of the coach? Was it Mike Keenanoff? Is that who was behind the bench for Russia?
Well, you should know this, Andy. You
Mikhail Keenanoff.
Why would you not know this? I thought if I know shit about like India and stuff, like why do you not know about the Olympics back in 1980? Like you should know that shit. That's on you.
I'm very familiar with India. Like, you're not going to tell me anything that I don't know about India.
Because you're a neighbor. Because you're a neighbor.
Well, it's one of them. He grows amazing.
I'm just saying. I don't know. I could go down that stupid path again. The hockey realm of things. Hockey's so unique because you can beat a fucking team that's way better than you. In football, if you have a quarterback that's good, like you're not. And you're fucking got 6'9" linemen and DN or what, you ain't beating them. I don't give a fuck how skilled of a game plan you have in football. Physicality and size will motherfuck you no matter what. Basketball, same thing. Baseball could be different here and there. You get a fat, but hockey, a goalie could just own you. Like it could just happen. Anyway.
Yeah. No, in football, man, you could have great wide receivers, a great running back.
Oh,
whatever. And if your quarterback's terrible, like you will not win.
Or if you're like, look, my point is like, if you have a college team that's unreal and you play an NFL team, the guys are all 4 inches bigger than you. Like, what? Maybe Alabama could do something here and there. But you know what I mean?
When I played football,
oh God,
back in we had a similar situation. I played safety, and
you must have been crushing guys. I'd be so scared if I was about to catch a ball and you're coming up and you're a safety and he's about to hit me. I'm like, I'll eat that hit. I'll eat that hit.
3 interceptions. I'll send you the game film. I need some game film on this, actually, if we can track that down. All right. Are you all good, man? In all seriousness, let me just tell the people I would never make light of COVID, and we're certainly
no, but I'm making light of it.
But the fact that Cam's feeling okay and whatever, but you know the fact that he tried to give it to me, and thank God that I have
tried to give it.
Very
hang out with anybody
in terms of how I was able to deflect.
I don't go places to mingle anymore. I just chill, dude. Like honestly, just chill and just do stuff.
Well, we wish you nothing but the best.
Social media. What?
My turkey is needs to be. By the way, if you start your turkey upside down, that's a little trick that I've learned. If you start your turkey upside down, don't roast it for more than 2 hours. But if you start and then you can turn it over and whatever, and you got to base that. It's very interesting. Start it upside down. And then you cut at the thigh.
Hey, all you,
that's where you cut. That's where you start your carving.
Enthusiasts out there, listen to Andy about eating meat and cooking meat. I'd listen to him. Never mind anybody else that actually eats it. Talk to this guy.
I'm just telling you.
That's the right thing to do. So listen to Andy about eating meat and cooking meat, not the people that actually eat it.
Yeah.
Listen to Andy though.
Hey, you know your turkey's fresh if there's a little feather in the packaging. How fresh does that get? I had a little feather.
Is that a thing? I
don't know. Yeah, a little feather. The wishbone. You believe in the wishbone?
You take that mug out.
Well, do you believe in like if you get the bigger size of the stick?
Andy, what the fuck are you? Are we dragging on for shit? Are we dragging on for shit?
Do you believe?
Ask me about a wishbone. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, man. I get a bunch of shit out here, dude. These cemeteries and shit. Who knows what they did back in the day? So if there's good luck or something, like if I spill salt, I'll put that mug over my left shoulder, like whoop that.
Gotcha.
But I don't know.
Okay, 800-279-7878. That is Hair Club. Again, Cam and Strick. Our landing page. Go to it today. hairclub.com/Cam and Strick, and set up your consultation from the landing page. You're going to get a $250 discount. If you want to call the number, make sure you mention us as well. 800-279-7878. 800-279-7878. Hair Club, baby. Love the fact that we have them on board. Yeah. We love Car Shield too. 800-257 or 857-2481. 800-857-2481. carshield.com. Use that promo code CAM. It's going to save you 10%, baby. We love our friends over there at Car Shield. Daredevil Hockey, Bellman.com. Get in there, man. Black Friday specials happening over there in Troy, Missouri.
They got Dodge.
The Buick GMC and then Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram right across the street from one another. And the one and only Troy, Missouri. Of course, Be a Local Legend. Check out that Instagram account at Be a Local Legend. and we're putting stuff out about them too, man. But they've got the barware, they've got the hoodies, the t-shirts, everything. My custom sports chair, my bookie. Bet with us. Use that promo code Cam Strick, and they'll certainly hook you up, man. So again, we appreciate all our sponsors and everybody who supports us right here at the Cam Strick Podcast, brought to you by Hair Club. Let me just say it like this, man. I'm thankful for our listeners. I'm thankful for everybody out there that has shown us love and support over the years. We hope everybody who listens to this has a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy the time with your families. All our Canadian listeners, man, we hope you get to chill and relax, man. Celebrate with us. Yes. And we love our Canadian folk as well, man. So everybody, enjoy the time with your families coming up on Thanksgiving.
Love all you guys. Appreciate everything. I'm okay.
Until next time.
We joke about shit, but we're all good. Yes. We love all you guys, though. We'll be fine.
Cam, go get some rest.
Ever Andy's body is fucking milk bag.
And stay away from your
what? My dogs?
Dogs and cats. And
I love them, though. No, that's my babies. I'm fucking chilling.
Hope you enjoyed Mike Richie, who joined us on this edition of the Cam Strick Podcast.